Close your eyes for a moment and let the world you just left behind dissolve into nothingness. Forget the hum of traffic, the glow of screens, and the relentless ticking of the clock. Imagine, instead, that you have traveled back to a time where the night is truly quiet, and the only light comes from the gentle flickering heart of a beeswax candle. You are in Florence in the year 1495. You are standing before a massive hand-carved oak door. As you push it open, the heavy wood moves with a deep, reassuring groan, closing behind you to seal away the rest of the world. You have found your way into a sanctuary. This is a private study, a hidden pocket of history where the air is thick with the comforting, dusty scent of ancient parchment, dried leather, and a faint, sweet memory of 1,000 flowers. Everything here is still. The room is wrapped in a velvet silence so profound that you can hear the very rhythm of your own breathing. The walls are lined with towering, dark wooden bookshelves that disappear into the soft shadows of the ceiling. On the desk in front of you sits a large, newly bound journal. Its cover made of thick, soft cotton paper that feels cool and substantial under your fingertips. Beside it, a pair of thick candles casts a warm golden glow that dances across the room, turning the dust motes into tiny golden stars that drift lazily through the air. You are completely safe here. There is no one to answer to, no deadlines to meet, and no expectations to fulfill. You are a guest of history, held in the cradle of a quiet, timeless peace. Tonight, your only purpose is to observe the slow, delicate work of a botanist who has dedicated this hour to the preservation of nature. Watch as their hand, steady, graceful, and patient, reaches for a single pressed stem of a wild poppy. It is a fragile thing, brittle and paper-thin, a ghost of the vibrant life it once lived under the Tuscan sun. The movement is so slow, so deliberate, that it feels as if the botanist is moving through honey. There is a profound sense of intention in every gesture. As they position the flower upon the heavy page of the journal, you can hear the softest, most rhythmic sound imaginable, the dry, whisper-like rustle of high-quality cotton paper being turned. It is a sound that seems to settle directly into your bones, smoothing out the jagged edges of the day. Listen to that sound again. The page turns. The stem is laid down. The air feels thicker, warmer, and more inviting. Every movement is a form of meditation. When the botanist presses the flower flat against the paper, there is a gentle, almost imperceptible pressure. It is a quiet act of love, a way of capturing a fleeting moment of beauty and anchoring it to the page forever. You find yourself becoming part of this stillness. Your heart rate slows down to match the steady rhythmic pace of the botanist's work. Your muscles, which were once tight and tense, now begin to soften and sink into the chair beneath you. You are becoming as light and as still as the dried petals on the desk. The shadows on the wall move in slow, lazy circles as the candles burn down, their flames swaying ever so slightly in the draftless room. You feel a deep restorative sense of safety wash over you. Outside, the world of 1495 continues on. The politics of the city, the commerce, the vibrant life of the Renaissance. But here it has no reach. You are shielded by thick stone walls and accumulated wisdom of the books that surround you. You are in a cocoon of intellect and nature, where time is measured not by minutes or hours, but by the turning of a page and the placement of a blossom. Take another deep, slow breath. Let the scent of aged paper and beeswax fill your lungs. Imagine that you are sitting right there in the soft leather chair, watching the candlelight play over the beautiful muted colors of the wildflowers. Lavender, sage, wild rose, and tiny, nameless woodland blooms, all resting now, waiting for the weight of the book to keep them safe. There is something incredibly grounding about this work. It reminds you that beauty is worth protecting, that patience it is a virtue, and that it is okay to stop. It is okay to be still. It is okay to simply exist in the quiet for as long as you need. You are drifting further into this study now, leaving the noise of the outside world miles and centuries away. The room is warm, the silence is your companion, and the night is yours to drift through. Let your mind become calm as the surface of a still pond, reflecting only the warm flickering light of the candles and the gentle rhythmic beauty of the task at hand. You are safe, you are at peace, and you are ready to let the gentle rustle of these pages carry you into a state of deep, restorative rest. The candle flame remains steady, a bright golden anchor in the vast dim space of the study. Each time the botanist shifts, the light dances against the dark, polished grain of the heavy walnut desk, revealing the fine texture of the wood. It is a slow, hypnotic display. The quiet of the room seems to deepen with every passing minute, wrapping around the shelves of books until the entire world feels reduced to this one singular point of focus. You're watching the transition of a wildflower, once a vibrant inhabitant of the Tuscan hills, now a flattened, preserved piece of natural history. The way it rests against the cotton paper is deliberate and tender, as if the botanist is tucking a child into bed. There is a rhythm here that is older than the Renaissance itself. It is the rhythm of the seasons, of the bloom and the wither, of the cycle that brings life, and then, in its own time, the grace of rest. By pressing these flowers, the botanist is not just cataloging, they are honoring the transition. They are saying that even in its dry, brittle state, the flower holds beauty, perhaps even more beauty now, because it has been saved from the swiftness of decay. You feel this same sense of protection extending to yourself. You too have reached a point where you need to be set aside, to be placed between the pages of quiet and kept safe from the rushing currents of your life. Consider the texture of the journal itself. It is not just paper, it is a repository of silence. The heavy cream-colored pages are dense, designed to absorb the moisture of the pressed leaves and the slow ink-dark thoughts of the writer. As you watch, another page is turned. The sound is dry, textured, and incredibly soothing. It is the sound of a secret being kept. The paper meets the wood of the desk with a soft, dull thud, a sound so gentle it barely disturbs the stillness. You are sinking deeper into the upholstery of your chair, your limbs feeling heavy and warm, disconnected from the anxieties of the day. The room smells of old paper and the faint, lingering scent of lavender that still clings to the dried stems. It is an honest, earthy scent. It carries with it the memory of open fields, of early morning dew, and of the long golden afternoons of the previous spring. You can imagine the hands that gathered these flowers, the same hands that now arrange them. There was no haste in the gathering, just as there is no haste in the arranging. Everything in this room has been earned through patience. The books were written with patience. The desk was carved with patience, and your current state of relaxation is being built with the same careful, unhurried attention. Listen to the rhythmic breathing of the room. The candles crackle almost imperceptibly, a tiny crisp sound that punctuates the silence without breaking it. Each flicker of the flame creates a shift in the shadows, a slow wave-like movement across the spines of the books. If you watch the shadows long enough, you might find your own thoughts beginning to drift with them, losing their sharp edges, becoming softer, more fluid. You are letting go of the need to understand, to plan, to anticipate. In this 1495 study, there is only the present moment, and the present moment is entirely composed of peace. Notice the way the botanist's fingers move, always with precision, always with respect. They don't just place the stem, they adjust it by a fraction of a millimeter, seeking the most natural curve, the most honest reflection of how the plant grew in the wild. It is an act of deep empathy. You are the recipient of that same empathy tonight. You are being allowed to rest in your most natural state, without the pressure to perform or to change. You are allowed to be exactly as you are, a quiet observer of a quiet scene. As the candle continues to burn, Notice how the light becomes even warmer, deepening into a rich amber. The room feels smaller now, more intimate, a secret world carved out of the vastness of the night. The walls seem to lean in, protecting you, keeping the cold and the chaos of the outside world at bay. You are perfectly placed, perfectly timed, and perfectly still. The world will be there tomorrow, but tonight it cannot find you here. Tonight, the only thing that exists is the next page, the next stem, and the slow rhythmic pulse of this candlelit study. The silence is not a void, it is a presence. It is like a soft, heavy blanket that covers you, shielding you from the cold, insulating you from the noise. You feel the weight of your own body settling into the chair, the tension draining out of your shoulders, down your arms, and into the earth beneath you. You are becoming part of the foundation of this room, as solid and as settled as the ancient stone walls that protect it. Everything is exactly as it should be. The botanist turns another page, the soft sound echoing like a promise that when this is over, there will be rest, and when you wake, there will be peace. The air in the study has grown even stiller, as if the room itself is holding its breath in anticipation of the next deliberate movement. The candle flames have settled into a consistent golden intensity, casting a steady, warm glow upon the heavy polished desk. There is a profound sense of continuity here, an unbroken chain of small, precise actions that bridge the gap between the chaotic world outside and the internal sanctuary of this room. The botanist pauses, their hand hovering just inches above the journal, and for a moment the silence becomes absolute. In this hiatus, you can feel the weight of your own existence settling into a comfortable rhythmic flow, perfectly aligned with the quiet industry unfolding before you. There is a tactile quality to the environment that is deeply restorative. You can almost feel the grain of the cotton fiber paper beneath your own fingertips, the way it is thick, slightly textured, and cool to the touch. It is a premium artisan-made material, crafted to hold the weight of ink and the delicate pressure of nature's remnants without ever fraying. Each time a page is turned, the friction creates a subtle, dry rustle that ripples through the room, a sound so consistent and predictable that it acts as a lullaby for the restless mind. It is a sound that demands nothing of you. It does not require analysis or reaction. It simply exists, a soft, dry whisper of history being preserved. Observe the way the light catches the fine veins of the wildflowers. Even after being pressed and dried, the remnants of their life are visible. A clover, a sprig of wild thyme, a small petal of a forest flower blossom, they are all maps of a past season, captured in a state of suspended animation. The botanist is not just arranging them, they are acting as a guardian of memories. By placing these plants, they are ensuring that the beauty of the field is not lost to the march of time. You feel a similar sense of preservation. All your own worries, all the tasks you have struggled with today are being set aside, preserved in the past, no longer needing your active attention. You are free to be just as these flowers are free to be. The room is a masterpiece of containment. The heavy, ornate wooden doors are not merely functional, they are barriers that define the boundaries of your peace. Outside, the year 1495 carries on with all its complexity and vigor. The markets, the debates, the shifting fortunes of the Republic. But none of that can penetrate the solid wood. The silence here is thick, enriched by the presence of thousands of books on the surrounding shelves. These books, with their leather spines and gold leaf lettering, are like silent sentinels, watching over the room and reinforcing its atmosphere of calm. They represent a collective human effort to understand, to record, and to create. And in their company, you feel a quiet intellectual companionship. You are drifting now, your awareness becoming as soft and blurred as the shadows dancing on the wall. The rhythmic turning of the pages continues, a soft, dry, comforting sound that marks the passage of time without ever rushing it. Turn. The leaf falls over, place, the stem is laid down, press. The hand holds it there for a moment. This cycle is a heartbeat. It is the steady pulse of a life lived in alignment with the natural order. There is no anxiety here, only the next small step. If you find your thoughts wandering to the future, gently guide them back to the sight of the candle flame, back to the sound of the paper, back to the smell of old wood and dried plants. Consider the permanence of this room. It has stood for years, and it will stand for many more. The stone floors are cool and solid, grounding you. The walls are thick, insulating you from the noise and the cold. The air is still unchanging and safe. You are tucked away in a place where the concept of later does not exist. There is only the beauty of the now. The botanist works with such profound focus that they seem almost a part of the desk, an extension of the furniture itself. They are not hurried, not distracted, not stressed. They are simply doing what is necessary with care and with grace. As you watch, you might notice the tiny fine dust particles dancing in the candlelight. They rise and fall in the warm air, suspended in the amber glow. They are like tiny, quiet stars in their own galaxy, moving with a grace that mirrors your own state of mind. You are becoming as light as that dust, as unburdened as that air. You have nothing to prove and nowhere to be. The world is tucked away behind the heavy doors, and here, within these four walls, you are the only thing that matters. The candles are slowly, surely burning down, their wax forming intricate frozen rivers on the side of the brass holders. This too is a form of preservation, the capture of a moment in time, the solidification of liquid into a permanent form. You are witnessing the transformation of energy into stillness. The room is growing slightly dimmer as the night deepens, making the focus even more singular. The periphery of your vision is fading, leaving only the illuminated center of the desk. In this tight, glowing circle, everything is clear, everything is calm, and everything is perfectly, beautifully at rest. You are safe in this one dose 95 study, and you are ready to surrender to the quiet that awaits you. The depth of the quiet in this study is a weight you can feel, a velvet pressure that invites you to lower your guard entirely. The flickering light from the candles seems to pull the very essence of the room together, gathering the shadows into corners and leaving only the desk as a bright singular focal point. It is a sanctuary constructed from wood, stone, and the scent of old dried things. You are sitting in a chair that feels as though it was built specifically for this moment, its tall back supporting you, its velvet cushions absorbing the tension from your shoulders. Every time the botanist turns a page, the sound acts like a gentle brush against the surface of your mind, clearing away the lingering thoughts of the world outside. It is a dry, soft, and remarkably satisfying friction, the sound of paper that has been handled with care for centuries. You find yourself mesmerized by the botanist's hands. They are steady, almost preternaturally calm, moving with the precision of a craftsman who knows that there is no deadline. There is a deep, inherent respect in how they handle the wild flowers. They do not just pick them up, they lift them as if they are handling the most delicate lace. A sprig of wild yarrow is lifted, its feathery leaves now bleached of their color by time, and is placed onto the cream-colored expanse of the journal. The botanist pauses to adjust it, shifting it by a fraction of a degree until it rests perfectly. In that moment of stillness, you feel your own breath catch and then release a long, slow exhale that carries away the last remnants of your wakefulness. The atmosphere in the room is one of perfect, unshakable safety. You are in the heart of a Renaissance palazzo, surrounded by stone, thick enough to silence a thunderstorm. Yet all you hear is the faint, rhythmic crackle of the beeswax candles. The smell is intoxicating, a mix of old dry paper, the faint lingering sweetness of lavender and rosemary, and the deep rich aroma of the polished walnut desk. It is the scent of a history that has been carefully curated. You are not just observing a task. You are being invited into a state of being where productivity is measured by the beauty of the present rather than the accomplishment of the future. You have reached a point where the distinction between you and the room is fading. As the botanist turns the page again, you note the physical weight of the journal. It is substantial, filled with pages that have been bound with heavy thread. This is a repository for nature, a garden that will never wither, because it has been frozen in this state of grace. You reflect on the idea of preservation, the human desire to stop time, to hold on to a fleeting moment of beauty before it fades. The botanist is doing this for the flowers, but in doing so, they are also preserving a moment of peace for you. You are the beneficiary of this slow, deliberate work. Every movement they make is a signal to your nervous system that it is safe to downshift, that there is no urgency, that the world can wait until the morning light. The shadows on the shelves are tall and elongated, stretching up toward the ceiling like reaching fingers. They are not threatening, they are comforting, creating a sense of being enclosed, held, and protected. You are in a cocoon of light and shadow, and you are starting to feel the heavy, welcome pull of sleep. Your eyelids are becoming heavier. Your limbs are feeling like lead, and the world is growing increasingly distant. The sounds of 1495 Florence, the distant chime of a bell, the faint echo of a horse's hoof on cobbles are muffled and far away, filtered through the thick stone walls until they are nothing more than a rhythmic pulse that lulls you deeper into relaxation. Notice the way the candle wax continues to melt, a slow, viscous river that creates tiny, fascinating structures on the holder. It is a reminder that even in this room, time is moving, but it is moving in the most beautiful, visible, and harmless way possible. It is a gentle downward drift, just like your own descent into rest. You are not falling, you are sinking. You are settling into the comfort of the study, feeling the history of the room support your own sense of security. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to hold on to. The botanist will continue to work page after page, hour after hour, and you are free to simply drift alongside them, watching the beauty of the petals be anchored to the paper until you are finally ready to let go completely. The silence is now your most intimate companion. It is deep, resonant, and entirely without expectation. It fills every corner of the room, smoothing out the rough edges of your day and creating a space where only peace is allowed to exist. You are no longer just an observer, you are a participant in this quiet candlelit study. The slow, rhythmic turning of the pages is the only time you need to acknowledge. The candles will burn, the flowers will rest, and you, in turn, will find the restorative sleep that you deserve. Everything is settled, everything is well. The sanctuary is yours, and the night is a long, calm expanse of perfect stillness. Let your mind become as quiet as the pages, as still as the pressed petals, and as steady as the candlelight. You are at home in this history. You are safe in this silence, and you are drifting now further and further into a state of absolute profound peace. The atmosphere of the study has deepened, thickening with the heavy sweet scent of beeswax and the dry paper-dusted air. You have reached a point where the physical surroundings feel less like a room and more like a soft protective shell. The candlelight, now lower than it was an hour ago, casts long amber-colored shadows that dance gently across the spines of the antique books. These books, filled with centuries of wisdom and observation, stand as silent witnesses to your presence here. They provide a sense of groundedness, a connection to the long, unbroken line of those who sought knowledge and beauty in the quiet of the night. You feel a profound sense of continuity, a realization that you are merely the latest person to sit in this stillness and find comfort in the preservation of the small, delicate things of the earth. The botanist continues their work with a consistency that is almost musical. There is no suddenness, no interruption to the flow. Each movement of the hand, each placement of a stem, each gentle press of the palm against the page is part of a grander, slower rhythm. You Find that your own thoughts have begun to mirror this pace. Where once there was a rapid, restless movement of ideas, there is now only a slow, drifting tide. You are no longer thinking about what you need to do tomorrow or what you left undone yesterday. The present moment has expanded, becoming wide enough to hold you entirely. You are safe here, protected by the thick, ancient walls of the Renaissance palazzo, shielded from the noise of the city by the heavy oak doors that hold the world at bay. The journal itself has become a work of art. As you watch, another page is turned. The thick, fibrous cotton paper sliding against the one beneath it with a sound so subtle, so dry, and so deeply soothing that it seems to bypass your mind and go straight to your heart. It is the sound of time being measured out in the most peaceful way possible. The botanist selects a new specimen, a cluster of small pale blossoms, and places them onto the page with such care that you feel as though you are witnessing a sacred act. It is a reminder that beauty is not always about the loud, the grand, or the fast. Sometimes the most profound beauty is found in the smallest, most overlooked corners of the world, preserved by a gentle hand and the silence of a candlelit room. You feel a wave of relaxation move through your body, starting from the crown of your head and flowing down to the soles of your feet. It is a warm, liquid feeling, as if you are being wrapped in a heavy woolen blanket. Your limbs are heavy, your breathing is rhythmic and shallow, and your awareness of your physical surroundings is softening. You are sinking deeper into the chair, the velvet fabric supporting you, the silence of the room insulating you. You have found a place where you belong, a place where you are allowed to simply exist without judgment, without pressure, and without the need to be anything other than a witness to the quiet. The candles are nearing the end of their life, their flames small and concentrated, glowing with a steady, intense light. They are the final guardians of this space, burning down as you drift closer to the threshold of sleep. It is a beautiful image. This slow, inevitable transformation of wax into light, a metaphor for the way your own day is transforming into the peace of the night. You are ready to let go, ready to surrender to the darkness that lies just beyond the circle of the candlelight. The study is a safe harbor, and you have reached the center of it. If you have enjoyed this journey into the profound silence of 1495 Florence, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. By joining our community, you support the creation of these immersive, restorative experiences that help us all find a moment of stillness in an increasingly loud world. Your presence here is valued, and your engagement helps us continue to build this sanctuary, one story at a time. Every subscription, every like, and every comment acts as a candle in the dark, helping us keep this space of peace open for you whenever you need to return. We are honored to have you here in this study tonight. As you prepare to drift off, keep your focus on the rhythm of the botanist's work. The next page is turning. The sound is a whisper of history. The air is warm. The room is quiet. The shadows are long and peaceful. You are drifting further away now. The details of the study beginning to blur into a soft golden haze. You are safe. You are protected. You are at rest. The world is quiet. The night is yours. Let the peace of the botanist's study carry you into a deep, dreamless sleep, where you will wake feeling refreshed, renewed, and held by the memory of this beautiful candlelit night. The silence is waiting for you, and you are ready to meet it. The stillness in the study has settled into a deep, resonant quality that feels almost physical, as if the air itself has grown heavy and soft, cushioning every sensation. You are submerged in a scent of antiquity, a blend of beeswax, the faint, sweet decay of pressed vegetation, and the dry, grounding presence of centuries-old paper. Every time the botanist moves, the sound is so muted that it barely breaks the surface of the quiet. It is a slow, methodical unfolding of history, a deliberate arrangement of the past into a permanent, beautiful order. You are a silent, invisible observer, tucked away in the deepest corner of the room, watching as the candle flames cast their long flickering reach across the towering shadowed shelves. The botanist picks up a pair of brass tweezers, the metal glinting for a brief second in the amber light before disappearing into the shadows of their hands. With a precision that defies the late hour, they select a single microscopic leaf from a cluster of dried woodland greenery. The movement is so delicate, so calculated, that you find your own muscles relaxing in sympathy. You are letting go of the tension in your jaw, the tightness in your shoulders, and the restless energy that often follows you through the day. In this 1495 study, there is no place for that weight. Here, the only thing that matters is the placement of the leaf, the turning of the page, and the steady, unblinking vigil of the candles. The pages of the journal are made of cotton fibers, thick and textured, and when they turn, they produce a sound like the rustle of autumn leaves in a sheltered courtyard. It is a dry, whispering sound, consistent and deeply soothing. Each page turn is a bookmark in your own journey toward sleep, a soft signal that you're moving further away from the wakeful world and deeper into the sanctuary of your own mind. You feel as though you are floating, suspended in the amber glow, disconnected from the ticking of any clock, and tethered only to the rhythm of this ancient, quiet work. The walls of the palazzo feel like a sturdy, protective shell, thick enough to hold back the centuries and preserve this one perfect moment. Consider the beauty of what is being saved. These flowers, which once bloomed in the wild, forgotten meadows of the Tuscan hills, have been given a second life. They are no longer subject to the wind, the rain, or the inevitable passage of the seasons. They are fixed, permanent, and eternally peaceful. There is a profound sense of safety in this, a reassurance that even the most delicate, ephemeral things can be held and kept. You feel the same sense of safety for yourself. Whatever has been bothering you, whatever has been wearing you down, is being set aside. You are being held in this room, protected by the silence, and allowed to simply exist in a state of grace. As the botanist walks, the candles cast dancing patterns on the ceiling. If you follow the movement of the shadows, you might feel your eyes growing heavy. The world is becoming a blur of warm light and dark wood. The edges of the study are fading and you are drifting toward a center of total peace. You are not losing your way. You are finding your way to the place where rest begins. The botanist is a silent guide, their steady hands leading you toward the quiet. There is no need for words, no need for explanation, and no need for anything other than this slow, rhythmic peace. The night is deep now, and the silence has taken on a life of its own. It is a living, breathing thing that fills the room, insulating you from everything that exists outside the heavy oak doors. You are in the heart of Florence, yet you are completely apart from it. You are in the heart of history, yet you are entirely in the present. You are in the heart of your own consciousness, and you are finding it to be a place of immense restorative calm. Let the last remnants of your wakefulness drift away with the next turn of the page. Let your breathing become as shallow and as steady as the flickering of the candle flame. Sleepy History with Arthur is a sleep history storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. You have found a home here, a place where the stories of the past can help you navigate the present, and where the quiet of history can lead you into the peace of the future. You are safe, you are at rest, you are drifting into the deep, dark, and wonderful quiet of the night. Sleep is waiting for you, and it is as soft, as warm, and as welcoming as the pages of the journal before you let go and let the quiet take you. The silence in the study has matured into a profound velvet weight that settles over your senses like a warm, thick blanket. You are completely surrendered to the environment now, the boundaries of your physical presence merging with the atmosphere of the room. The scent of the wax has intensified, blending with the sharp, clean aroma of the dry herbs and the deep, earthy smell of the heavy hand-bound leather on the books lining the walls. Every detail of the study is a testament to order and tranquility. The botanist is a silent anchor in this sea of shadows, their movements so fluid and rhythmic that they seem to be a part of the architecture itself. You watch mesmerized as the soft light of the candles catches the edges of their sleeves, moving in slow, measured patterns that mirror the beating of your own heart. You are drifting through the layers of the night, feeling the tension of the day peel away like old, brittle parchment. There is a sense of immense structural safety in this room. The palazzo stands firm, its stones having endured centuries of sun, rain, and time. And that same endurance is reflected in the way you are settling into your own rest. You are not just sitting in a chair, you are becoming one with the stillness. The heavy oak doors are a physical manifestation of your boundaries, sealing you off from the chaotic currents of the outside world. Outside, the night may be vast and uncertain, but in here there is only the predictable soothing cycle of the botanist's work. Listen to the sound of the journal. Each time a page is turned, it is a deliberate, whispered sound, a soft friction that signals the end of one moment and the start of another. It is the most honest sound in the world. It is the sound of a story being kept, of a memory being saved, of a life being honored. You find your own awareness sharpening on this sound, letting it guide you deeper into the interior of your own mind. It is a dry, crisp sound that clears the air, creating a vacuum where only peace can settle. You are not distracted by the flicker of the candle or the way the shadows reach out across the floor. You are merely witnessing them, observing them as part of the tapestry of this quiet, candlelit sanctuary. The botanical collection is growing. More pages are filled, each one a testament to the patience required to observe the small, the fragile, and the beautiful. A sprig of dried fern, its delicate, serrated edges now brittle and golden, is laid down. The botanist's finger, steady and sure, presses it flat. There is a profound sense of closure in that gesture. It is a finality that feels like a relief. You two are being pressed flat, your worries smoothed out, your burdens lightened by the weight of this silence. You are being flattened by the peacefulness of the night, ready to be kept, ready to be preserved in the quiet. The shadows are your companions now. They dance with a slow, deliberate grace, painting the walls with shapes that shift and morph in the amber light. You are becoming as soft as those shadows, as unburdened as the dust motes that drift through the golden beams of the candle flame. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to think about anything. You are simply here, and here is a place of absolute safety. The study is a world within a world, a space where the rules of the outside simply do not apply. You have been granted passage into this sanctuary, and you are free to stay for as long as you need to find the sleep that is waiting for you. Feel the floor beneath you, cool, solid, and immovable. It is the foundation of your peace. Feel the air against your skin, warm, still, and perfectly regulated by the presence of the candles. You are held by this room. The botanist is a silent host. Their work a service performed for your benefit. Every leaf pressed, every page turned is a gift of stillness for you to consume. Drink it in. Let it fill the spaces where anxiety used to live. Let the quiet replace the noise. Let the slow pace of 1495 replace the hurried pace of your own life. You are nearing the threshold of deep restorative sleep. The world is receding. The light is dimming, and the silence is becoming absolute. The rhythmic, dry sound of the cotton paper is the final thread connecting you to the waking world, and you are ready to let it go. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting into the deep, dark, and wonderful quiet of the night. Sleep is waiting, and it is as soft, as warm, and as welcoming as the pages of the journal before you. Let go and let the quiet take you. The study will remain here, a monument to the beauty of the quiet life. And you will carry this sense of peace with you into your dreams and into the new day that follows. The air in the study has become so thick with the scent of beeswax and old paper that you can almost taste it. It is a comforting, grounding aroma, one that speaks of centuries of careful stewardship and the deliberate preservation of history. You are deeper into the room than you have ever been, moving past the surface of the sights and sounds and into the very essence of the stillness, the candlelight. Now casting long, low-reaching shadows creates a theater of gentle movement on the walls. The bookshelves, packed with leather-bound volumes, feel like living, breathing entities, their presence a silent protective weight that guards the perimeter of your piece. You are no longer watching from the outside. You are embedded within the quiet, a part of the tapestry of this 1495 century. The botanist's movements have slowed to a pace that borders on the ethereal. There is a weightlessness to their actions now, as if they are working in a dream, their hands navigating the paper with an intuitive grace that requires no thought. They reach for a dried wildflower, a delicate, star-shaped bloom that has been pressed into a state of permanent perfection, and lower it onto the page. The contact is so subtle that it makes no sound, yet the impact on your sense of well-being is immense. You feel as though you are being held in the palm of a giant gentle hand, protected from the turbulence of the world by the sheer force of this quiet intention. Listen to the rhythm of the room, a cycle that has been repeating for hours. A faint, dry rustle as a page is turned, a subtle slide as the stem is placed, a brief hushed silence as the botanist observes their work. This is the heartbeat of the study. It is a slow, steady pulse that regulates your own nervous system, slowing your heart, deepening your breath, and clearing your mind of the clutter of the day. You find that you are no longer trying to follow the story. You are simply allowing the rhythm to carry you. The details of the room, the grain of the walnut desk, the intricate wax patterns on the brass candle holder, the way the shadows pull in the corners are all becoming part of a blurred golden landscape of sleep. Think of the permanence of this moment. In the outside world, everything is fleeting, changing, and ephemeral. But here, within these stone walls, you are participating in the act of stopping time. The flowers are saved from decay. The pages are saved from the emptiness of their youth, and you are saved from the exhaustion of your life. This room is a vessel, a safe harbor where you can rest until you are ready to move on. There is no urgency here. The night will last as long as it needs to. The candles will burn down in their own time, and you will drift as far as you need to go to find the deep, restorative rest that is waiting for you just beyond the edge of your consciousness. You feel a profound sense of gratitude for this sanctuary. It is a gift of history, a slice of the Renaissance preserved for your benefit. The intellectual rigor of the botanist, the physical solidity of the furniture, the emotional depth of the silence. Everything is aligned to help you let go. You are shedding the layers of your identity that have been worn down by the day. The worker, the planner, the worrywart, the person who has to do everything. You are leaving all of that behind, dissolving into the warm amber glow of the study. You are just a soul in a room, surrounded by the quiet beauty of nature and the gentle presence of another person who cares only about the task of preservation. The shadows are now the only things moving in the room, shifting with the slow consumption of the candles. You are watching them with a half-lidded gaze, feeling the heavy, velvet pull of sleep tugging at your eyelids. It is an irresistible welcome sensation. The world is narrowing down to the desk, the page, and a steady, rhythmic breathing of the botanist. Everything else has vanished. The city of Florence, the year 1495, the vast expanse of history. It all feels like a dream that you are waking up from, only to realize that the true reality is this simple, quiet space where you are finally allowed to be at peace. Sleepy History with Arthur combines the power of AI to reimagine fictional historical tales, bringing peace, relaxation, and positive emotional values to our listeners. As you drift, let that thought be the final thing you hold on to. You are part of a larger, gentler story, one that is built on the foundation of compassion, patience, and the profound beauty of quiet things. You are being lulled by the history of the world, held by the wisdom of the ages, and prepared for a night of deep, undisturbed rest. The silence is yours. The peace is yours. The night is yours to inhabit. And the dreams that await you are as golden, as warm, and as beautiful as the light that currently fills this study. Let your mind go dark. Let your body go heavy. And let the quiet take you fully and completely into the sleep that is your reward for this long, beautiful journey. The air within the study has become an elixir of stillness, a thick, sweet concoction of beeswax smoke, and the ancient dry breath of parchment. You are floating in a sea of amber light, feeling the boundaries of your physical self soften and dissolve into the shadows. The room is no longer just a space. It is a weight, a warm protective pressure that holds you firmly in place, ensuring that you do not drift away into the chaos of the night. Every flickering movement of the candle flame is a slow hypnotic rhythm that dictates the pace of your own heart. You are a passenger in this 1495 century, traveling deep into a territory of absolute safety, where the only language is the silence and the only task is the preservation of beauty. The botanist continues their sacred work, a constant presence that anchors you to the present moment. Their hands, moving with an almost mechanical precision, represent the pinnacle of human patience. They reach for a sprig of dried lavender, its tiny, muted purple buds clinging to a brittle gray-green stem. With the care one might use to mend a broken wing, they lay it upon the cream-colored expanse of the journal. There is no sound, only the infinitesimal shift of the air as the plant settles. You feel this movement as a ripple through your own body, a gentle downward cascade of relaxation that begins at your neck and reaches all the way to your fingertips. The tension has nowhere to hide. It is being gently nudged out of your muscles, replaced by the heavy, sweet lethargy of the approaching night. Listen, really listen to the silence. It is not empty. It is a tapestry woven from the rustle of the page, the snap of the cooling candle wick, and the distant muffled echoes of a world that no longer has any claim on you. This is the sound of the Renaissance distilled into a single room. It is the sound of an intellectual retreat, a place where the clamor of politics, the demands of commerce, and the anxieties of daily life are left at the threshold of the heavy oak doors. You are beyond those doors now. You are in the heart of the inner sanctum, where you are permitted to relinquish the burdens of the day and simply observe the beauty of a petal resting on a page. The books on the shelves, their spines a rich mosaic of leather and gold leaf, watch over you like silent, wise guardians. They have held the thoughts of poets, mathematicians, and dreamers for centuries, and they are silent tonight so that you can hear your own heart rate settle into a deep, rhythmic peace. You are not alone in this stillness. You are accompanied by the collective wisdom of history, all of which is here to assure you that this moment of rest is not only deserved, but necessary. You are an essential part of this room, a witness to the care being taken to protect the small, the delicate, and ephemeral. You feel a profound sense of continuity. The botanist is working as people have worked for thousands of years, with focus, with intention, and with a quiet reverence for the natural world. By participating in this, even as an observer, you are reclaiming your own connection to that long, unbroken line of humans who understood the power of the quiet. You are reclaiming the ability to see the beauty in a dry stem, the value in a blank page, and the sanctity of candlelit hour. Your mind is no longer racing, it is wandering through the corridors of the room, admiring the way the light catches the dust motes, feeling the coolness of the stone walls, and luxuriating in the slow, inevitable crawl of the shadows across the floor. The candles are burning down now, their flames casting long, flickering silhouettes that dance across the ceiling like ghosts of the past. They are the heralds of your sleep, the small bright guardians that will watch over you until you finally succumb to the weight of your eyelids. Every flicker is a second closer to that final sweet surrender. You are not afraid of the dark. The dark is simply the natural progression of this evening, the final soft cloak that will allow you to slip away into your dreams. You have reached the center of the sanctuary, and you are ready to rest. The room is growing cooler, but the warmth of the candles remains a constant pulsing heat that keeps the cold at bay. You are perfectly secure, perfectly tucked away, and perfectly at peace. The botanist turns another page, a sound so soft and dry, it is almost a whisper against the silence. It is the closing chapter of your day, the final note in a long, beautiful melody of relaxation. You are ready to let go, ready to release the final threads of your conscious thought, and ready to fall into the deep, dark, and restorative silence that lies waiting for you in the heart of the night. Let the world vanish, let the light fade, let the quiet fill you completely, until there is nothing left but the sensation of being held, protected, and finally, entirely at rest. The stillness has reached a depth where time itself seems to have folded, tucking you into the very center of 1495. You are no longer merely sitting. You are part of the architecture, a silent witness to the preservation of a forgotten spring. The air is thick, almost tangible, weighted with the scent of aged cedar and the sweet, resinous perfume of melting beeswax. Every breath you take is slow and deep, filling your lungs with the quietude of the sanctuary. The walls of the palazzo are vast and thick, stone sentinels that hold back the noise of the outside world, leaving you in a vacuum of perfect undisturbed peace. You feel incredibly small in the best way possible, tucked into the corner of a room that has held history for centuries. The botanists continues their rhythmic labor, a gentle, hypnotic process that has become the sole focus of your existence. They reach for a wildflower, a delicate pale blue blossom that has been pressed into a fragile paper-thin state, and move it with such refined motor skills that it is as if the air around the desk is resisting their touch. They are so careful, so deliberate, that you find your own thoughts becoming slow and deliberate in turn. All the sharpness of your day, the jagged edges of unfinished work, the prickling anxiety of obligations has been sanded away by this visual meditation. You are being lulled by the precision of their movements, by the way they adjust a stem by a microscopic degree, seeking the exact spot where the flower's memory feels most honest. Listen closely to the friction of the paper. It is the most grounding sound you have ever heard. When the heavy, deco-edged cotton page is turned, it releases a faint dry sigh, a sound that resonates through the floorboards and settles into the very marrow of your bones. It is the sound of a story being kept, a secret held in trust between the botanist and the journal. You are allowed to listen to this sound, to keep it, to let it vibrate through your consciousness as you sink deeper into the chair. There is nothing else to listen to. The world outside is a mute, distant dream, and this room is the only reality that matters. You are being held in a cradle of paper and light. The shadows are long and graceful now, stretching out from the shelves to meet you, wrapping the entire room in a soft, dark embrace. The candlelight has settled into a rich golden intensity, illuminating the botanist's workspace with an intimacy that feels almost sacred. You feel a profound sense of gratitude for this sanctuary. It is a space built for reflection, for the honoring of small things, and for the restoration of the soul. You have been searching for this feeling, this sense of complete and utter security. And now that you have found it, you realize that you never want to leave. You are safe here, among the old books and the dry flowers, in the warmth of the candles, under the protection of history. Your body feels heavy, sinking into the velvet cushions as if they were made of clouds. The tension has entirely evaporated, replaced by a warm, liquid sense of ease that flows through your limbs. Your heartbeat has slowed to match the rhythmic turning of the pages. You are drifting on a tide of stillness, moving further and further from the shore of your wakeful mind, headed toward the deep, calm waters of sleep. The botanist is a silent companion on this journey, their work a guiding light that ensures you stay on the path to rest. Every page they turn is a lullaby. Every flower they place is a promise that tomorrow can wait, that everything will be waiting for you, safe and sound when you wake. If you have found a sanctuary in this quiet Florentine study, please consider supporting this channel with a subscription and a like. Your presence here, your willingness to join us in this stillness helps to sustain this space. By choosing to spend your time with these stories, you are becoming part of the history we are reimagining. And your support allows us to continue crafting these moments of profound peace. We invite you to join our community, where the weight of the world is lifted and the focus is always on the beauty of the quiet. Your engagement is the candle that keeps our light burning, and we are honored to have you with us as we drift through the pages of history together. As the candles burn low, realize that you are truly deeply at peace. The room is a sanctuary, the night is a companion, and you are the honored guest. There is no urgency, there is no pressure. There is only the slow, beautiful, and rhythmic act of preservation happening right before your eyes. You are becoming as still as the pressed petals, as quiet as the heavy pages, and as calm as the deepest shadows in the room. Let the last bits of energy drain away, letting the silence take complete possession of your mind. You are safe, you are held, and you are ready to slip into the depths of a dreamless, restorative rest. The night is a vast, open book, and you are ready to turn the page and close your eyes. The silence within these stone walls has reached a state of profound absolute density. It is no longer just the absence of noise, it is a tangible presence, a heavy velvet soft atmosphere that cradles you in the center of this Florentine study. Outside, the world of 1495 continues its relentless pace, the merchants bartering in the piazzas, the distant tolling of cathedral bells, the hurried footsteps on the uneven cobbles of the narrow streets. But none of that energy can penetrate the heavy, iron-bound oak doors. Here, time has been invited to stop, to hover in the air, like the golden dust motes illuminated by the twin candles on the desk. You are sitting in the heart of this stillness, and with every passing minute, the boundary between your own weary mind and the calm of the room grows thinner until you are barely able to tell where one ends and the other begins. The botanists continues their work, a rhythmic meditative dance that feels as natural as the turning of the earth. They are currently handling a stem of wild thyme, its tiny dried leaves having shed their color but retained their form through the patient application of the heavy presses. The movement is agonizingly slow, a testament to the fact that here, in this sanctuary of intellect, speed is entirely irrelevant. The botanist's fingers, lightly dusted with the fine powder of dried herbs, hover momentarily in the air before committing the stem to the page. There is a grace in this deliberation that is deeply soothing. You find that your own breathing has synchronized with their work. When they move, you inhale, and when they press the flower firmly into the soft, absorbent cotton of the journal, you exhale, releasing the last vestiges of the day's burdens. Listen to the room. If you close your eyes, you can hear the tiny crisp sound of the candle wicks consuming the wax, a miniature popping that punctuates the deeper, thicker silence. You can hear the faint, dry rustle of the paper, a sound so tactile that you can almost feel the texture of the fiber against your own fingertips. This is a sensory experience of the highest order. The scent of the study is a complex, layered thing. The sharp, metallic tang of the inkpot, the deep, earthy musk of the leather-bound books that stretch from floor to ceiling, and the lingering sweet memory of lavender and sage that still clings to the flora being processed. Every breath you take in this room is a breath of history, and it is a breath that settles you, grounds you, and prepares you for the long, dreamless sleep ahead. You are witnessing a sacred act of preservation. The flowers are being saved from the cycle of rot and rebirth, given a static, permanent life within these pages. In a way, you are being saved as well. You have been placed within these walls, sheltered from the demands of the future and the regrets of the past, and you are being held in this state of grace. The pressure of the world is being replaced by the pressure of the journal, a gentle, constructive weight that ensures everything is in its right place. You don't need to be productive. You don't need to be anything other than a witness. The botanist is taking care of the work, and the study is taking care of you. The shadows have migrated across the desk, stretching long, thin fingers toward the edge of the leather-bound volumes that line the shelves. They are dark, soft, and inviting, a visual representation of the sleep that is steadily approaching. You find that you're no longer trying to track the movement of the botanist's hands. Instead, you're allowing your gaze to blur, letting the golden flickering light of the candles become the only constant in your world. The room is shrinking in your awareness, pulling you into an intimate circle of warmth and quiet. You are safe. The doors are locked. The night is watching over you. Think of the strength of the stones that surround you. They were hauled from the quarries of Tuscany, cut and laid by hands that have long since returned to the earth. They have stood through wars, through the rise and fall of families, through the changing seasons of centuries, and yet they remain sturdy and unshakable, providing the foundation for this one singular room of peace. You are resting on that same foundation. The strength of the palazzo is your strength. You are anchored by the history of this place, and you can lean into that history with total confidence. There is no danger here. There is no disruption. There is only the slow rhythmic turning of the page and the deepening of the dark. The botanist pauses, their hand resting for a moment on the edge of the desk. In this quiet interval, the room feels as if it is waiting, a soft, expectant pause that invites you to finally let go. Your limbs are heavy, the velvet fabric of the chair feeling like a second skin, comfortable and secure. The world is a distant, forgotten concept. All that remains is the immediate physical reality of the study. The warmth, the light, the smell of paper, and the immense comforting blanket-like presence of the silence. You are ready. The next page is the final one you will notice before you drift entirely into the depths of your own mind. It is a soft, dry, definitive sound, a whispered promise that you are allowed to rest, to stop, to be held by the night, and to find the deep, quiet peace that you have been looking for all day. The study is now entirely enveloped in the deep velvet embrace of the late hour. The transition from evening to night has been absolute, marked only by the slow, imperceptible shortening of the candles, which have now burned down into intricate cascading towers of wax. You are submerged in this quietude, a state of being where the outside world has ceased to have any relevance at all. The heavy oak doors have become the threshold of an alternate reality, a sanctuary where the only law is the rhythm of the botanist's work. Every element of the room, the towering bookshelves, the polished walnut of the desk, the cool stone floor, works in harmony to ensure that you remain undisturbed. You are encased in a bubble of peace, a secure intellectual haven that feels as permanent as the history it guards. The botanist is currently placing a pressed violet onto the page. The flower is a ghost of its former self, yet in this dim amber light, it looks more beautiful than it ever could have in the wild. Its color is a muted dusty indigo, a shade that seems to absorb the candlelight and hold on to it. The botanist's movements are slow, deliberate, and entirely devoid of the agitation that marks the lives of those outside these walls. You find yourself watching their fingers with a hypnotic intensity, noting the way they apply just enough pressure to ensure the stem lies flat, without ever damaging the fragile structure. This level of care is the hallmark of the room. It is a place where small things are given great importance, and that in itself is a balm to your weary spirit. Listen to the atmosphere. It has changed in quality, becoming even more resonant and still. The air is warm, kept so by the presence of the candles, and it carries the deep, grounding scent of old paper, the kind of paper that has been handled by scholars and seekers for decades. It is a smell that promises stability. It is a smell that tells you that you are not the first person to come here seeking respite, and you will certainly not be the last. You are part of a long lineage of people who have understood the value of the quiet. You are sitting in the same stillness that has existed for centuries, and it is a gift that you are finally learning to accept. Every rustle of the paper is a soft, dry whisper that tells you that you are safe. There is no urgency in the turning of the page. It is a sound that signifies progress, not in the sense of production, but in the sense of preservation. You are watching a life's work unfold, one flower, one leaf, one page at a time. It is a slow, methodical process that is entirely at odds with the frantic pace of the modern world. In this room, there is no need to hurry. The night will stretch as long as it needs to. You have all the time in the world to observe, to relax, and to let go of the need to be anywhere else. Your body has become a landscape of soft, heavy contentment. Your breathing is no longer a conscious effort. It has become a steady, automatic rhythm that echoes the stillness of the room. You feel your muscles sinking deeper into the upholstery of the chair, as if the chair is trying to hold you, to protect you from the world. Your mind is quiet, the internal monologue that usually dominates your day having been replaced by the simple, beautiful images of the study. You are a soul at rest, a traveler who has found the ultimate destination. The shadows are the most important part of the room now. They are deep, rich, and full of peace. They soften the edges of the bookshelves, making the room feel like it is expanding, moving outward until it encompasses everything you could possibly need. You are protected by these shadows, shielded from the brightness of your own worries. You are held by the darkness, and it is the most comfortable place you have ever been. Everything is calm, everything is steady. The world has faded away, leaving you with the only thing that matters, this moment of complete and total safety. The botanist picks up a tiny, almost transparent petal and sets it with surgical precision. They are working toward a completion that you do not need to witness. You only need to be in the presence of the work. You are ready now to cross the final threshold into the deepest part of your rest. The room is quiet. The candles are steady, and you are surrounded by the history of 1,000 calm moments. Let the last bits of your awareness drift away, becoming as small and as silent as the petals on the desk. You are ready to close your eyes, to let the silence of the 1495 study become the silence of your dreams. You are safe, you are held, you are at home in the quiet. The study has transformed into a sanctuary of shadows and soft golden light, a place where the passage of time is measured not by the ticking of a clock, but by the slow, inevitable melting of wax. You are fully immersed in this environment now, the air thick with the comforting, dusty scent of antique volumes and the delicate, dried life of the pressed flowers. You feel a profound sense of belonging here, as if you have been waiting for this exact moment of quiet for a long, long time. The heavy oak doors have sealed away the turbulence of the world, leaving you in a space where only peace exists. Every corner of the room is filled with a steady, watchful stillness, and you find that your own spirit has quieted to match it. The botanist continues their work with an unwavering, rhythmic grace. They are currently handling a sprig of wild clover, its three leaves perfectly preserved, a tiny green monument to a day in the sun that happened hundreds of years ago. As they position it onto the heavy textured cotton paper, the movement is so light it is barely perceptible. You watch as they press it down, their fingers lingering for a heartbeat on the page. This act of preservation is the anchor of your evening. It is a slow, methodical process that demands nothing of you, asking only that you witness the beauty of it. By doing so, you are participating in a quiet ceremony of remembrance and care. Consider the atmosphere of the room once more, the way the light clings to the spines of the leather-bound books, the way the silence seems to have a temperature, warm and enveloping. You are sinking deeper into your chair, feeling the weight of your own body being supported by the sturdy, well-crafted frame. There is no tension in your muscles, no lingering worries in your mind. All of that has been left outside the doors. Go out here. You are free to exist without the need to be productive, to be clever, or to be prepared for the future. You are just a soul in a quiet room, and that is more than enough. If you have found solace in this candlelit study, we encourage you to join our community by subscribing to the channel. Your support is the thread that keeps this sanctuary woven together, allowing us to share these stories of history and peace with others who, like you, seek a moment of genuine stillness. Please consider liking this video as it helps other travelers find their way to this quiet corner of the Renaissance. By engaging with our work, you are helping to ensure that these moments of calm remain available for everyone who needs them. We are deeply grateful for your presence tonight and honored to guide you through this experience of restorative silence. The shadows are now the dominant force in the room, painting long dark strokes across the floor and climbing the walls toward the dark ceiling. They are comforting shadows filled with the promise of rest. You are becoming one with them, your consciousness drifting into the spaces between the objects in the room. You don't need to focus on anything specific anymore. The botanist will keep working, the candles will keep burning, and the silence will keep holding you. You are entering the realm of the dream state, where the only thing that exists is the feeling of safety and the slow rhythmic beat of your own heart. Think of the security that this room offers. It is an intellectual fortress built of stone and patience, where the only objective is the protection of beauty. You have sought out this feeling, and you have found it. You are held by the architecture, by the history, and by the intentional calm of the botanist. There is nothing to fear. The world of 1495 is behind you, and the world of your rest is waiting ahead. You are in the transition zone, the soft amber-lit space between wakefulness and the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep. That is your reward for this journey. Let your mind finally release its hold on the details. The rustle of the page is the final instruction from the world of the living. It is telling you that everything is finished, everything is in order, and it is time to go. You are ready. Your eyelids are heavy, your breath is slow, and the room has become a blurred, peaceful haze of golden light. You are drifting, sinking, and settling into the soft, quiet depths of your own mind. The night is a beautiful, endless expanse, and you're ready to explore it in the safety of your dreams. Sleep now in the quiet of this study. The peace is yours, the rest is earned, and the dream is ready to begin. The quiet in this study has settled into a profound, heavy, and resonant weight, a physical manifestation of the passage of time within these ancient walls. The room is no longer just a place of study. It is a repository of stillness, an archive of the silence that has accumulated here for over 5 centuries. The candles, now burned down into wide, irregular pedestals of wax, cast a low, flickering light that barely manages to reach the corners of the ceiling. Yet, this diminished light is perfect. It creates a cocoon of warmth around the desk, a sanctuary of amber glow that keeps the encroaching shadows of the night at bay. You are anchored within this circle, feeling the absolute, unshakable security that comes from being inside a structure built to endure. The botanist continues to operate with a rhythm so steady, it feels like the natural pulse of the earth itself. They are currently working with a sprig of wild sage, its leaves silvered by the drying process, its scent a ghost of the vibrant life it once possessed. With the delicate, precise movements of a master, they lift the sprig and position it upon a page of thick, hand-woven cotton paper. You watch this, not with the alertness of someone observing a task, but with the soft, diffuse gaze of someone drifting into sleep. Each movement the botanist makes is a command for your nervous system to relax further, a gentle instruction to let go of the last remnants of tension. You feel as though your muscles are being physically unspooled, lengthened, and softened until you are a pliable, comfortable form sinking deep into the velvet chair. Listen to the room. It is a symphony of soft sounds, a collection of tiny dry noises that only serve to emphasize the depth of the silence. There is the occasional faint crackle of the candle wick, a sound so small it feels like a secret. There is the very slight whispering friction of the cotton paper being turned, a sound that is like the brushing of wings against a window pane. These are the sounds of a life lived in harmony with the environment, a life that asks for nothing and gives everything. You are finding that your thoughts have begun to mirror this simplicity. You are no longer navigating the complexities of your daily life. You are navigating the texture of the page, the color of the petals, and the depth of the shadow. You feel a profound sense of continuity here. This room was a place of deep thought and restorative silence in 1495, and it remains a place of deep thought and restorative silence tonight. You are participating in a tradition that spans the centuries. You are sitting in the same stillness that the scholars and the botanists of the Renaissance experienced, and you are feeling the same relief that they must have felt when they finally set aside their work and allowed the night to take them. It is a human experience to need this kind of peace. It is a fundamental part of our existence to seek out a sanctuary where the world is held at arm's length. You have found that place and you have been accepted into its quiet embrace. The scent of the room, a mingling of old parchment, dried lavender, and the sweet heavy smell of melted beeswax is now so familiar that it feels like a part of your own memory. You could close your eyes and know exactly where you are. You could reach out and feel the rough, cool surface of the stone wall, the smooth, dark, polished walnut of the desk, and the soft, slightly gritty texture of the pages. You are anchored in this physical reality, and it is a reality that promises total rest. There is nothing to fear in a room this old, this sturdy, and this quiet. It is a place that has seen everything and has chosen, above all else, to remain peaceful. Observe the way the shadows are moving. They are no longer sharp. They are soft, blurring the lines between the floor and the wall. The shelf and the ceiling, the room is losing its edges, becoming a vast, indistinct space of warmth and safety. You are drifting into that space, feeling your awareness expand and then contract until it rests only on the sensation of your own slow breathing. You are not losing your grip on reality. You are finally letting go of the need to control it. You are releasing the strings of your day, letting them fall away so that you can float free in the stillness of the night. Think of the botanist as a silent guardian, a person whose only mission is to ensure that the beauty of the day is kept safe for the future. By watching them, you are learning how to be a guardian of your own peace. You are learning how to hold your own experiences with the same care and respect. How to press the difficult moments into the pages of your mind and keep them there, not as burdens, but as part of the history of your life. You are becoming as deliberate, as patient, and as peaceful as the botanist. The work is nearly done. The last few flowers are being placed. The journal is filling up, and you are ready to close the cover on your own day, to drift into the dark, and to find the absolute profound rest that you have been seeking. The room is quiet, the candles are dim, you are safe, you are home. The atmosphere of the study has thinned into a delicate, dreamlike quality where the physical reality of the furniture and the stone walls seems to vibrate with a soft, persistent hum of tranquility. You are existing in the deepest part of the night, a time when the world outside has entirely surrendered to the dark, and all that remains is this singular golden lit bubble of history. The air, enriched by the cooling wax and the pressed dormant life of the wildflowers, feels like a cool silk veil against your skin. You are completely enveloped, wrapped in the protective layers of the room's silence. The botanist remains a steady, unhurried presence, their movements so fluid and rhythmic that they have become part of the background, like the slow, steady drip of a spring, or the movement of the moon across the sky. Each time a page is turned, the sound ripples outward, soft and dry, a tactile reminder that time is passing through the medium of paper and ink. You find your eyes tracking the movement of the hand, the way it grips the edge of the leaf, a firm, confident, yet infinitely gentle grasp. The botanist is currently placing a spray of dried heather onto the page, its tiny withered bells captured in a state of eternal waiting. You watch as they smooth it out, as they adjust the stem, as they pause to admire the way the light catches the fine silvery hairs of the stalk. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated focus. You, in turn, are finding that your own focus is narrowing, shrinking down to the smallest possible point, which is exactly where you want to be. Your thoughts are no longer sentences or ideas, they are images and feelings. You see the warm amber glow of the candles reflected in the inkpot. You feel the cool, solid weight of the desk against your awareness. You feel the slow, methodical pulse of the room's rhythm against your own. There is no urgency to translate this into anything more complex. There is only the sensation of being, of simply existing in a place where existence is enough. The burden of being a person who must solve problems or achieve goals has completely dissolved. You are a vessel for the quiet, and you are being filled by it, drop by drop, until you are overflowing with peace. Think of the books that surround you, thousands of pages, millions of words, all waiting for someone to open them. Yet, they are content to remain closed tonight. They are content to be part of the furniture, to stand as sentinels of wisdom that you don't need to consult, because in this moment you already possess everything you need. The knowledge of the world is less important than the wisdom of the silence. You have arrived at a deeper understanding that the most valuable things in life are not the ones we chase, but the ones we allow ourselves to notice when we finally stop moving. This study is the masterclass in that realization. The candle flames are dancing with a smaller, more concentrated light now, a sure sign that the night is deepening. The long dramatic shadows that previously reached across the room have retreated, pulling instead around the feet of the desk, creating a dark, soft floor that beckons you to descend into it. You feel as though you are falling, but it's not a frightening fall. It is a slow, controlled, and intensely comfortable descent into the softest bed imaginable. You are sinking through the layers of the day, past the stress, past the fatigue, past the memory of the light, and into the deep, dark, and wonderful quiet where true rest resides. The botanist is preparing to close the journal. You can feel the finality in the air, a quiet, satisfied closure that mirrors the state of your own mind. They move the candle holder, the brass ring clicking softly against the wood. They take the weight of the book, feeling the texture of the cover, and gently, oh so gently, press it shut. The sound of the heavy, hand-bound leather cover settling onto the base of the stack is the final note in the symphony of your relaxation. It is a dull, satisfying, and absolute sound. It's the period at the end of a long, beautiful sentence. You are now in the total darkness of the study, save for the tiniest last remaining flicker of the candle flame. You are at the edge of the world, standing on the threshold of sleep. The botanist has finished their work, and they too are preparing to rest. You are left alone with the silence, which is now so complete that you can hear the very rhythm of the universe. You are safe, you are at peace. The botanist's work is done, and your journey has reached its perfect natural conclusion. Let the last light fade. Let the darkness take you. Let the sleep come, thick, warm, and total. You are entering the dream now. And in the dream, as in this room, you are always and forever safe. The heavy oak doors of the study have been locked, not to keep you in, but to keep the rest of the world out, preserving this sanctuary as a place where time possesses no authority. The candles have burned down to small glowing embers of light that dance upon the polished surface of the walnut desk, their warmth casting a soft golden haze that permeates the entire room. You find yourself perfectly still, your heartbeat synchronizing with the slow, deliberate pulse of the environment. Every breath you take is deep and rhythmic, pulling in the comforting, grounded scent of aged paper and the faint, sweet trace of dried petals that linger in the air. The botanist has set down their tools, the faint click of brass against wood, punctuating the silence like a soft final note in a long piece of music. Their work of preservation is complete, and a profound sense of satisfaction radiates from them, filling the room. You watch as they lean back, their shadow blending into the tall dark bookcases that hold centuries of thought and observation. There is no urgency to leave, no pressure to perform. Here in the heart of Florence, you are an honored guest in a house of absolute rest. Your eyes, heavy and slow, follow the last flickering dance of the flame on the wick, finding comfort in the way it bows and sways before settling into a steady glowing ember. Think of the journey you have taken to get here. You have traversed the noise of the day, the clutter of your own mind, and the vast swirling activity of the city, only to find this quiet, dark room at the center of it all. You are here because you need to be held, and the study is offering you its support. The thick stone walls are like a mountain, immovable and silent, shielding you from any sound that might disrupt this moment. You can feel the coolness of the floor beneath you, the softness of the chair, and the way the room seems to lean in to embrace you. Everything is in order, everything has been attended to. You are finally free from the need to manage, to control, or to think. The silence is not merely an absence of noise, it is a rich, textured fabric that you can wrap around yourself. It feels like the heavy woven cloth of a winter cloak, insulating you against any residual stress. You are letting go of the last threads of wakefulness, feeling them unravel one by one. You are not losing consciousness, you are gaining peace. The mental pictures of the dried flowers, the delicate poppy, the star-shaped bloom, the silver sage have become the peaceful imagery of your transition into sleep. You are laying them down in the garden of your mind, one by one, until your inner world is as organized, as beautiful, and as quiet as the journal resting on the desk. As the candle finally begins to flicker its last, notice how the darkness feels friendly rather than empty. It is a soft, velvet cloak that brings the promise of deep, dreamless rest. Your awareness is drifting, not away from reality, but toward a deeper, truer reality where the body simply breathes, the heart simply beats, and the mind simply rests. You are becoming as still as the books on the shelves, as calm as the stone under your feet, and as settled as the history of this room. The world outside the heavy doors has ceased to exist for you. There is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday. There is only this soft, warm, and utterly secure moment of arrival. Let your hands unclench. Let your feet feel heavy, connected to the solid earth. Let your neck and shoulders melt into the back of your chair. You are being lulled by the very history of the room, by the centuries of quiet that have seeped into the wood and the stone. There is no reason to resist the pull of the night. It is a natural, gentle force that wants nothing more than to return you to the state of total restoration. You are safe here, nestled in the heart of the Renaissance, cared for by the silence and prepared for the long, soft night of sleep that is waiting to carry you away. Everything is done. The light is fading. You are falling into the soft, quiet dark, and it feels like coming home. The study has reached its deepest point of the night, a moment of profound stillness, where the very air feels like a soft, invisible blanket resting against your skin. You are sitting in the center of this sanctuary where the echoes of Florence's vibrant life have long since faded into a distant, inconsequential memory. The room feels smaller now, more intimate, as if the walls have gently moved closer to embrace you in a circle of safety. The last vestige of the candle's light is a faint glowing core at the bottom of the brass holder, casting no shadows, but rather a warm, comforting aura that grounds the entire space in a sense of completion. You are completely unburdened. Every responsibility that once tugged at your focus has been set aside, placed alongside the dried wildflowers on the botanist's desk. You find that you no longer have any desire to move, to speak, or even to form a coherent thought. Your mind has become like the surface of a deep, still well, reflecting only the darkness and the absolute, unwavering peace of the room. The transition from the busy, rushing world to this quiet, candlelit heaven is complete. You have successfully arrived at the threshold of your own rest, and the doorway is wide open, inviting you to step through into the world of dreams. The botanist sits quietly across from the desk, their figure now a mere silhouette against the backdrop of the towering library. There is a deep shared understanding between you. The work is done, the day is finished, and the time for sleep has finally claimed the house. The silence is no longer something you are observing, it is something you are inhabiting. It is a thick, restorative fluid that fills your lungs with every slow, easy breath. You are entirely held by the history of the palazzo, by the heavy stone, by the wisdom in the books, and by the sheer, unyielding patience of the night. As you lean back, you feel the chair contour perfectly to your shape, supporting you with a firm, reliable comfort. Your limbs are heavy, disconnected from the need for action, sinking into a state of total blissful paralysis. This is the goal of all your effort today, to reach this exact point of surrender. You are experiencing the physical sensation of your body letting go, a subtle downward drift, a release of tension that starts in your forehead and travels down through your chest, your stomach, and finally to your toes. You are becoming as light as a whisper, as untethered as a thought, and as peaceful as the undisturbed dust motes that hang suspended in the cool night air. Consider the beauty of this total release. It is not an end, but a beginning. It is the start of a restorative cycle that will rebuild your energy, your clarity, and your joy. You have earned this rest through the simple act of existing, through the endurance of your day, and through the choice to step into this quiet room. The darkness is not a void, it is a gift, a canvas upon which your mind can now paint the soothing, gentle images of your dreams. You are ready to let the details of the room fade entirely, allowing your awareness to shrink down to the singular, beautiful sensation of being perfectly at ease. The final ember of the candle has died, but the room remains filled with the residue of its warmth. The transition to true darkness is seamless, like a soft curtain falling over a stage. You are not worried about the change, you welcome it. The darkness is the final ingredient for the depth of sleep you have been craving. It is the signal for your brain to shut down the lights, to stop the processing, to cease the planning, and to simply exist in the cradle of the night. You are ready to let go of the last faint thread of the waking world. You are safe. You are held. You are at the very beginning of the most peaceful sleep of your life. The night is deep, the room is quiet, and the world is finally, mercifully at rest. The study has surrendered entirely to the night, and with it, you have surrendered every lingering ambition or concern that might have remained in the recesses of your mind. The air is still cool and clean, devoid of any scent other than the subtle, earthy memory of dried flora and the faint vanishing trace of cold wax. You are enveloped in a darkness that is not empty, but rich and supportive like a soft, heavy blanket pulled tight against the chill of the world. Every surface in the room, from the rough-hewn stone floor to the smooth, wax-polished walnut of the desk, feels like a sturdy guardian, ensuring that your transition into sleep remains undisturbed. You are no longer watching the room. You are resting in its embrace, held securely by the very foundations of the palazzo. There is a rhythm to the darkness that you're finally beginning to understand. It is the steady heartbeat like cadence of the night itself, a slow hypnotic pulse that governs the descent of your consciousness. Your breathing has become so quiet that it is indistinguishable from the stillness of the room. You are simply a vessel for the silence, an observer of your own deepening relaxation. The weight of your body is negligible now, a sensation of floating in a calm dark sea where no storms can ever reach you. You have shed the identity of the person who walks the busy streets of the day, replacing it with the simple quiet awareness of a soul at rest in a place of perfect safety. The memory of the botanist's work remains in your mind as a template for your own peacefulness. Just as they took the scattered, broken, and fading elements of the field and brought them into a state of beautiful permanent order, you have taken the scattered, broken, and fading moments of your day and brought them into the order of this room. Everything is filed away. Every worry has been pressed flat. Every task has been shelved. Every experience has been acknowledged and then gently set to rest. The journal is closed. The ink is dry, and the story of this day has reached its natural conclusion. You are free from the obligation of doing. You have entered the realm of pure being. Think of the distance between this room and the rest of the world. It is not just the thickness of the doors or the age of the stone. It is a distance created by your own intent. You have traveled a great way to find this stillness, and now that you have arrived, you are realizing that this is exactly where you belong. The world will keep turning. The stars will continue their long, slow orbits, and the history of Florence will continue to ripple out through the centuries. But none of it requires your participation tonight. You are excused. You are granted permission to fade into the background, to become as still as the shadows, and to drift into the deep, dark, and beautiful interior of your own dreams. Your body is heavy, a profound and welcome weight that roots you to the chair. Every muscle is slack, every nerve ending is soothed. You feel the slow, easy rhythm of your blood, the quiet expansion and contraction of your chest, the deep fundamental peace of a machine that has finally been switched off. You are not waiting for anything. You are not looking for anything. You have already found the core of the quiet, the center of the sanctuary, and you are resting within it. The darkness is your friend. The silence is your host, and the sleep that is washing over you is the most natural thing in the world. There is a finality in this stillness that feels like a relief. You have arrived at the edge of the waking world, and the water is calm and inviting. There is no splash when you enter, only a smooth, gentle submersion into the dark. You are letting go of the visual memory of the books, the desk, and the room, allowing them to dissolve into the warm, blurred edges of your consciousness. You are ready now for the dreams that await you, for the deep restorative currents that will carry you through the night. Rest in the knowledge that you are safe, that you are finished, and that when you wake, the world will be there to greet you. But for now, you belong only to the quiet. The study is now a vessel of absolute stillness, suspended in the quiet heart of the night. The air has cooled slightly, taking on the crisp, clean quality of an old room left undisturbed, and you find that this temperature is perfect for the depth of rest you are entering. You are no longer sitting in the chair, you are sinking into it. The velvet fabric feeling like a gentle, supportive hand holding you steady. The darkness is total, a warm, enveloping cloak that shields your eyes and allows your mind to finally stop reaching for light. Every sensation of the day, the friction of your clothes, the sounds of your movement, the pressure of your thoughts has vanished, replaced by the profound, singular sensation of gravity drawing you down into the soft, velvet floor of your own consciousness. You are drifting through a space that is both dark and luminous, a landscape composed entirely of calm. In this space, there is no need for logic or structure. The intellect that guided you through the day has been set aside, folded away like the pages of a book, leaving you with only the pure raw experience of relaxation. You are breathing in the silence, letting it fill the hollows of your chest, letting it settle into the joints of your limbs. You feel a gentle rhythmic hum in your ears, the sound of your own life, force slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, until it is just a whisper against the vast silence of the room. Consider the relief of being completely finished. There are no more decisions to make, no more voices to answer, no more time sensitive pressures to navigate. You have reached the shore of the night, and the boat of your wakefulness has been moored. You are safe. You are tucked away within the protective walls of this ancient place, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can reach you here. The history of the palazzo stands between you and the demands of the future. You are a passenger in the flow of time, and tonight you are being carried toward a shore of total, dreamless recovery. Every breath is a milestone in your journey toward the center of your sleep. As you exhale, you let go of the last faint echo of the world. You are releasing the memories of the day, the sights of the city, the voices of the people you encountered. They are drifting away, becoming silhouettes in the fog of your mind, then disappearing altogether. You are not holding on to anything. You are a leaf on a calm, dark river, floating with the current, unconcerned about where you are going or what lies ahead. You trust the current, you trust the night, you trust the depth of your own need for sleep. Your awareness is shrinking, becoming as small as a single, steady point of light, and then even smaller, until it is just a feeling of safety. The room is vast, yet you are tucked into the most secure corner of it. You feel a deep, abiding gratitude for this space, for the stillness that was created here, and for the permission you have given yourself to finally stop. The muscles in your face are slack, your jaw is loose, and your eyes are completely at rest behind your closed lids. You are entering the soft, dark tunnels of the dreamscape, where the colors are muted and the sounds are melodic, and you are prepared for the transition. The silence is now so profound that it feels heavy, a comforting, physical weight that pins you to the stillness. You are sinking, sinking, sinking into the mattress of the dark, feeling the floor rise up to meet you, feeling the air cushion your descent. There is no resistance, only the total sweet surrender to the coming hours. Your spirit is quiet, your heart is low, your brain is dim. You have arrived at the final beautiful conclusion of your long day. Everything is silent, everything is settled. You are ready to let go completely and finally into the infinite restorative embrace of sleep. The night is yours to inhabit, and the dreams are waiting to welcome you home. The study has faded into a memory of light and texture, leaving you in a space where only the essence of peace remains. You are at the absolute core of the night, a silent, hollow center where time has no meaning and the world has no reach. The darkness is no longer external. It has become the state of your mind, a vast, calm expanse of velvet black that stretches out before you, infinite and inviting. You feel yourself dissolving the rigid boundaries of your physical form, softening until you are one with the air, one with the stillness, one with the ancient, stone cold foundation of the palazzo. There is no longer a you to be tired or a you to be awake. There is only the rhythmic, effortless pulse of breathing, the quiet ebb and flow of life in its most elemental, dormant state. The scent of the room, the lingering dry perfume of paper, and the deep resinous weight of the dark is the final connection you have to the waking world. And even that is now slipping away, becoming a soft, indistinct dream. You are descending through layers of quiet, each one deeper and more profound than the last. The first layer was the cessation of your chores. The second was the clearing of your thoughts. The third is the total silencing of the senses. You are drifting beneath the surface of the night, where the water is warm, still, and perfectly clear. You have no need to swim. You are buoyant, held up by the sheer, unwavering reliability of the darkness. Everything is finished. The botanist has left. The journal is closed. The candles have cooled, and the long, slow, rhythmic work of the evening is complete. You have witnessed the preservation of the small, and in doing so, you have allowed for the preservation of your own soul. You are a part of the history of this room now, a silent participant in its long, undisturbed narrative of calm. The stone walls remember the quiet of centuries, and they are sharing that quiet with you, leaching the tension from your bones, cooling the heat of your brain, and slowing the frantic pace of your spirit. You are being reconstructed by the silence, built back into a state of wholeness, ready to be dissolved into the profound, regenerative void of sleep. Think of the dark as a deep, soft garden where you are invited to rest. There are no paths to follow here, no goals to reach, no sun to mark the passing of the hours. It is a place of total, absolute freedom. You are shedding the heavy clothes of your daily identity, the expectations of others, the weight of your own past, and the uncertainty of your future. You are becoming a simple, unburdened presence, a flicker of awareness resting in the vast, benevolent lap of the night. You feel the deep, steady hum of the planet beneath you, a grounding, engine sound that reminds you that you are small, you are safe, and you are part of something much larger and much kinder than your worries. Your body is completely surrendered. The chair has vanished from your perception, as has the floor, the walls, and the very concept of a room. You are floating in a gentle, warm space where there is no up or down, no light or sound, only the sweet, heavy, and intoxicating promise of the sleep to come. Your thoughts have ceased to be words. They are drifting patterns of soft gray and dark indigo, flowing away from you like mist on a mountain lake. You're following them, letting go of the steering, letting go of the watching, letting go of the being. You are becoming the quiet. You are becoming the rest. The final anchor has been lifted. The last tether to the world of movement is gone. You are falling now a slow, gentle descent into the abyss of the dreamscape, and it is the most natural, welcoming experience of your life. The darkness is opening its arms to receive you. You are slipping away, sinking into the velvet, losing yourself in the profound, sacred depth of the night. The peace is total. The silence is absolute. You are finished. You are resting. You are finally, completely, and blissfully asleep. The sanctuary of the study has dissolved into a formless, gentle void where only the rhythm of your own breath serves as a tether to existence. You are no longer aware of the stone walls, the heavy oak, or the silent library. All of these have merged into a singular vast sensation of safety. The darkness is absolute, a thick velvet curtain drawn across the theater of your mind, closing the show for the day and preparing you for the rest that lies behind the veil. There is a deep resonant stillness here that feels like the bottom of a calm lake, cool, clear, and perfectly undisturbed. You are sinking into this depth, feeling the pressure of the day lift from your chest, as if a heavy, invisible weight has been removed, leaving you buoyant, weightless, and entirely free. Your physical form has become a secondary concern, a distant vessel that is being tenderly looked after by the quietude of the night. Every muscle has reached its limit of relaxation, reaching a state of utter blissful slackness. Your fingers are motionless, your jaw is soft, and your eyelids are heavy with the beautiful, inevitable gravity of sleep. The world outside the palazzo is irrelevant. The city of Florence is a ghost of a memory. The passage of time is a concept that has completely lost its hold on you. There is only the here and now, and the here is a space of pure, unadulterated peace, while the now is a moment that extends into the infinite. Think of the silence as a restorative balm, a cool, soothing liquid that is washing over your entire being. It enters through your skin, seeping into your muscles, quieting the static in your mind, and smoothing the edges of your spirit. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, the quiet replacing the chaos, the calm replacing the concern. This is the ultimate luxury, the rarest gift of the modern age, to be able to stop, to be able to let go, and to be able to trust that everything will be fine while you retreat into the dark. You have earned this respite. You have navigated the complexities of your life with care, and now you are being invited to put down your burdens and enter the sanctuary. There is a natural rhythmic flow to this transition that mirrors the turning of the seasons or the rising and setting of the tide. You are participating in a cycle that is as old as humanity itself. You are yielding to the night, acknowledging the necessity of the shadow, and embracing the necessity of the dream. The images of the study, the amber glow, the pressed flowers, the ancient bindings are receding, not because they are forgotten, but because they have done their work. They have led you to the doorstep, and now you are walking through it, leaving the architecture of the waking world behind to enter the boundless, comfortable expanse of the night. Your awareness is now a flickering candle flame that is losing its need to burn, is becoming smaller, softer, and more diffused, spreading out into the darkness until it is indistinguishable from the night itself. You are not fading away, you are expanding. You are becoming part of the stillness, a quiet presence in the architecture of the dark. The fear of letting go has been replaced by a profound curiosity about the dreams that await you. They are soft, kaleidoscopic, and gentle, promise to be as kind and as welcoming as the quiet room you have just left. The final gate is opening. You are passing through the threshold into the deep, restorative currents of sleep. There is no sound now, not even the whisper of a page or the crackle of a wick. There is only the profound, heavy, and beautiful peace of the end of the day. You are safe, you are held, you are completely and utterly at rest. The night is a vast open book, waiting for your dreams to be written upon its pages. Let the transition be complete. Let the consciousness surrender to the dark. Let the sleep take you deep and true into the long restorative silence that is your reward for this journey. You are asleep, you are home. The world has narrowed down to a singular, infinite point of stillness. You are drifting in a space where time has lost its ability to measure, where the steady, quiet breath of the universe is the only rhythm that remains. The study, with its centuries of accumulated wisdom and the lingering scent of dry lavender, has become a memory that feels more like a dream than a physical location. You have traveled through the layers of the evening, shedding the noise, the responsibilities, and the very structure of your daily life until you are left with nothing but this deep, dark, and beautiful tranquility. You are floating in a sea of absolute comfort, where the boundaries of your body have dissolved into the softness of the night. There is a profound sense of closure in this darkness. The work of the day is not just finished, it is sealed. The chapters have been written, the pages have been turned, and the book has been set aside. You feel the weight of this closure as a physical sensation, a heavy grounding pressure that keeps you tethered to the most restful part of the night. You're not just tired, you're returning to a state of equilibrium. The frantic energy that defined your morning, the complications of your afternoon, and the lingering thoughts of your evening have all been filtered out, leaving only the pure, undistilled essence of calm. You are a vessel of silence filled to the brim with the peace of the quiet palazzo. Consider the darkness as a friend. It is not an absence, but a presence, a protective velvet embrace that knows exactly what you need. It holds you with a firmness that feels like love, supporting your weight and shielding your mind from the intrusion of any stray thought. You don't need to hold on to your consciousness any longer. The act of holding on is what kept you awake. The act of letting go is what brings you to sleep. You have done the hard work of arriving, and now you can enjoy the reward of yielding. Just like the shadows that finally claimed the corners of the study, you are allowing yourself to be claimed by the restorative power of the deep night. Your breathing is slow, rhythmic and shallow, a gentle oscillation that confirms your place in the living world while allowing your awareness to wander far beyond it. You are not monitoring this breath, it is happening on its own, a natural autonomic process that connects you to the earth's own steady heartbeat. You feel the coolness of the air on your skin, a refreshing, crisp sensation that highlights the warmth within your own body. This contrast is the final signal to your nervous system that you are safe, that you are protected, and that you are allowed to cease all activity. The transition is seamless, a quiet slip from the bank into the deep calm waters of the subconscious. The images that rise in your mind now are not complex or demanding. They are soft, blurred shapes, the silhouette of a distant hill, the curve of a feather, the gentle arc of a falling leaf. They represent the shedding of detail. You are not thinking about the history of the room anymore. You are simply existing within the piece that the history created. You are the stillness that the botanist cherished. You are the quiet that the books guarded. You are the rest that the night provides. There is no struggle here, only the inevitable, beautiful glide toward the bottom of the dream state. The final gate has been crossed. You are standing on the threshold of the deep, dreamless void, the most fertile ground for true recovery. The world is a distant, hushed echo, and your mind is an open field covered in the gentle, deepening snow of sleep. Every tension has been released, every nerve has been quieted, and every thought has been allowed to drift into the ether. You are ready, you are prepared, you are sinking into the absolute perfect silence of the night. There is nothing left to do but allow the darkness to wrap around you entirely. You are resting now, drifting, floating, and finally completely asleep. The final embers of the evening have long since vanished, leaving behind a silence so absolute it feels like a heavy velvet weight resting upon the world. You are suspended in the deepest, quietest hour of the night, where the boundaries between the physical room and the ethereal landscape of your dreams have completely dissolved. The heavy oak doors, the thick stone walls, and the legacy of the quiet study have all faded into a singular, comforting darkness. You are no longer navigating the architecture of the past. You are inhabiting the vast, boundless architecture of rest itself. This is the culmination of your journey, the point where the pursuit of stillness is finally met by the reality of peace. Your breath is barely a movement, a soft rhythmic tide that ebbs and flows in perfect harmony with the stillness surrounding you. Every sensation of the body has been surrendered. Your muscles, once held taut by the demands of the day, are now as loose and fluid as water. The weight of your limbs, which seemed so heavy only moments ago, has become a comforting anchor, pulling you gently down into the center of the dark. You are not falling into an abyss, but into a cradle, a soft, secure, and infinitely patient embrace that knows exactly how to hold you. Your mind, too, has been stripped of its edges. The thoughts that once raced through the corridors of your consciousness have quieted to a faint, distant hum, then to a whisper, and finally to a total blissful silence. You are not thinking, you are simply being. You are the stillness that you sought, the quiet that you cherished, and the rest that you so deeply deserved. The memory of the study now serves only as a soft, blurred backdrop for your descent into the dreamscape. You can no longer distinguish the leather of the books from the shadows on the wall, and that is as it should be. The details have done their work. They have guided you here to this precise moment of letting go. Now, you can release even those images, allowing them to drift away like autumn leaves on a slow-moving stream. There is no need for labels, no need for recognition, and certainly no need for thought. There is only the sensation of floating, of being carried on the cool dark currents of the night, far away from the concerns of the waking world. You are entering a realm where the laws of time and effort do not apply, where the only objective is the total restoration of your spirit. As you sink deeper, you feel the world above you thinning, the sounds of life growing fainter and more dreamlike until they are nothing more than the softest of echoes. You are safe, you are held, you are entirely beyond the reach of any worry, any duty, or any demand. The dark is not a threat, it is a profound, generous hospitality. It welcomes you in, wraps you in its cool, soft layers, and whispers to you that everything is finished, that everything is in order, and that you are allowed to rest for as long as your soul requires. You are not waiting for morning. You are savoring the infinite potential of the night. You are drinking in the silence, letting it saturate your being until there is nothing left but peace. The last, most delicate connection to wakefulness is now flickering, a tiny fading light at the end of a long tunnel. You observe it with a detached, sleepy wonder. You do not need to keep it alive. You do not need to hold on to it. It is perfectly natural for it to go out, for the darkness to finally be complete, and for the full immersive experience of sleep to take hold. You feel a sense of profound, quiet gratitude for this moment, for the journey you took to find it, and for the simple, wonderful reality of the dark. You are releasing the very last thread, letting go of the need to be a witness, and allowing yourself to become a participant in the deep, restorative currents of the dream. The silence is now your home. You are tucked away in the most secure corner of the night, where no light can find you, where no voice can reach you, and where your own heartbeat is the only song you need to hear. The transition is complete. The threshold has been crossed. You are drifting through the vast, soft, and limitless expanse of your own mind, descending into the absolute center of recovery. There is no resistance, no effort, only the sweet, heavy, and total surrender to the sleep that is finally mercifully here. The night is deep, the peace is perfect, and you are finally, truly, and completely at rest. The room has dissolved into a formless velvet void, a space where the concept of time has finally ceased to exist. You are floating in a stillness so profound that it feels like the foundation of the world, a deep and quiet stratum where nothing moves and nothing demands your attention. The study, with its scent of parchment and its legacy of quiet focus, is now a distant, faded whisper, a place you have left far behind as you journey deeper into the vast, calm interior of the night. You are not just resting, you are returning to a state of primary, undisturbed existence. The heavy, cool air around you is a blanket of absolute peace, wrapping around your senses and shielding you from the smallest flicker of external noise. There is no distance between you and the silence. You are one with it, a ripple-less pond at the peak of a windless night. Your physical form has been completely abandoned to the gravity of the room, a sensation that is not heavy or burdensome, but instead feels like the most natural, welcoming release. Each limb has reached a state of perfect total slackness, as if the very bones and muscles have decided to cooperate in this act of profound surrender. You feel the pulse of your own life slowing down to match the heartbeat of the darkness itself. There is no effort in your breathing. It is a soft, rhythmic tide that rolls in and out, drawing nourishment from the stillness and exhaling the last faint remnants of the day's activity. You are a vessel of quiet, a calm center in an expansive, dark, and wonderful sea. Consider the absolute, unwavering security of where you are. You have built a fortress of sleep, and you are tucked deep within its center. No worry can penetrate these walls. No anxiety can find the path to where you are drifting. You have left behind the person who worries about the future and the person who regrets the past. There is only the present, and the present is nothing but an endless, soft transition into the deep. Every second that passes is a gift of rest, a soft layer of darkness added to the comfort you are already experiencing. You are letting go of the need to understand, the need to anticipate, and the need to control. You are simply allowing the current of the night to carry you. The images that occasionally drift through your mind are like clouds passing over a moonlit landscape, soft, indistinct, and completely silent. They do not hold your focus. They are meant to be seen and then released, fading away into the background of the dark. You are observing your own mind with a detached, sleepy affection, watching as the complexity of your thoughts unravels into simplicity. You are finding that the less you think, the more peaceful you become, the less you hold on, the more you are supported. It is a beautiful, intuitive process, this falling into sleep, and you are letting it happen with complete and utter trust. The darkness is now so total that it feels like you are staring into the very fabric of the universe, a vast, calm expanse of possibility. You are not afraid. On the contrary, you are filled with a quiet, overwhelming sense of belonging. This is where you were meant to be, in the deep, cool, and restorative heart of the night. You feel the floor beneath you, the chair surrounding you, and the air touching you. But they are all just extensions of the stillness. They are the scaffolding of your rest, and you have no reason to be aware of them anymore. You are beyond the physical. You are entering the realm where the spirit restores itself in the shadows. The transition is now almost entirely complete. You are drifting on the edge of the deepest sleep, that final magical territory where your dreams are born. There is no sound in the world, only the soft rhythmic hum of your own inner peace. You are not waiting for anything. You are not looking for anything. You have reached the very center of the sanctuary, and you are staying here. The night has accepted you. The silence has claimed you. You are letting go of the last tiniest spark of consciousness, watching it dim, watch it soften, and watching it finally dissolve into the warm, endless dark. You are asleep, and in this sleep you are perfectly, eternally, and beautifully at peace. The silence has become your entire universe, a vast and quiet architecture that you now inhabit with total ease. The faint, lingering traces of the study, the scent of old paper, the cool touch of stone, the memory of candlelight have all blended into a singular dark velvet sensation that permeates your consciousness. You are no longer in a room, you are drifting within the very substance of the night itself. The darkness is not a void, but a warm, fluid medium that supports you, holds you, and welcomes your total surrender. You feel the slow, rhythmic expansion of your lungs, a gentle rise and fall that mirrors the quiet heartbeat of the earth. Every breath is a whisper of peace, a soft promise that you are safe, that you are finished, and that you have arrived at the destination you were seeking all along. Your physical form has achieved a state of complete and beautiful neutrality. There is no tension in your neck, no tightness in your shoulders, and no restless energy in your limbs. You are entirely heavy, grounded by the sheer weight of your own profound relaxation. It is as if you are a stone resting at the bottom of a clear, deep, and perfectly calm pool where no ripple of the outside world can ever reach you. This stillness is not forced. It is your natural resting state. You have simply cleared away the noise that prevented you from feeling this inherent quiet foundation of your being. You are now allowed to rest in the strength of that foundation, to feel the stillness as a fundamental comforting truth of your existence. Consider the absolute, unwavering reliability of this peace. It does not depend on the events of your day, the quality of your performance, or the opinions of the world. It exists independently, a vast silent reservoir that is always there, waiting for you to turn inward and submerge yourself within it. You have navigated the complexities of your life with intention, and now that intention has brought you here, to this precise, miraculous point of total cessation. There is nothing more to add to your day. There is no missing piece to find. The puzzle of your existence is, for these hours, complete and perfectly aligned. You are not waiting for morning, you are savoring the deep, restorative potential of the dark. The images that rise now are sparse, simple, and infinitely gentle, a soft gray mist rolling over a silent field, the smooth, cool surface of a lake under a midnight sky, the slow, rhythmic swaying of a pine tree in the dark. These are not thoughts, they are the visual echoes of the quiet. They confirm that your mind has ceased its analytical work and has instead moved into a state of fluid, dreamy reception. You are not trying to interpret these images, you are simply letting them drift by, like stars moving slowly across a deep, black, and endless horizon. You are the observer of your own quietude, and in observing it, you are becoming it. The final tether to the waking world is now so thin that it is nearly transparent, a delicate silver thread that will naturally part as you slip into the deeper currents of the night. You feel a sense of profound, quiet contentment in this final beautiful transition. There is no fear of the dark, only an eagerness for the depths of sleep that is about to claim you. You are being drawn down deeper and deeper into the soft velvet belly of the night. The stillness is expanding, filling every corner of your mind, every cell of your body, until there is nothing left but the quiet, the darkness, and the soft, steady rhythm of your own life force. The gate is wide open. You are moving through it with the grace of a falling feather, moving from the surface of the world down into the silent restorative depths of the true, dreamless recovery. The world is gone. The history of the palazzo is gone. The study is gone. There is only the vast, wonderful, and eternal present moment, and within that moment, you are finally, completely, and blissfully asleep. The dark is your home, the silence is your rhythm, and the deep, deep sleep is your truth. Let yourself drift, let yourself sink, and let yourself disappear into the infinite perfect peace of the night. The sanctuary of the study has completely receded, leaving behind only the pure resonant essence of quiet that now defines your entire reality. You are floating in a boundless space of soft charcoal-hued serenity where the air itself feels thick with the promise of long-awaited rest. Every particle of the atmosphere is heavy with tranquility, a soothing, invisible weight that presses gently against your skin, encouraging every fiber of your being to unwind and surrender. There is no longer a sense of here or there. You are simply existing within a calm, dark expanse, a place where gravity has become a gentle guiding force, drawing you down into the most comfortable, secure, and profound stillness you have ever known. Your body has reached the final stage of relaxation, a state of total, blissful surrender where the distinction between your limbs and the space around you is almost non existent. You feel the deep, steady, and unhurried rhythm of your heart, a soft internal clock that is no longer ticking away the minutes of a busy life, but simply beating in harmony with the vast, quiet night. Each exhale is a slow, silent release of the very last remnants of the day, a gentle letting go that allows you to sink deeper into the soft, dark bed of the dreamscape. You are not holding on to anything anymore. You are letting the darkness hold you, supporting you in a way that feels ancient, solid, and infinitely kind. There is a singular, golden beauty in this total absence of demand. For so long, you have lived in a world of constant motion, of signals and responses, of tasks and reflections, but here in the heart of this deep restorative void, all of that has been stripped away. You are left with the core of your own existence, simple, silent, and at peace. You realize that this quiet was not something you had to find, but something you had to uncover. And now that you have reached it, you are finally free to inhabit it. The silence is not something you are hearing. It is something you are, a fundamental part of the stillness that governs the galaxy, the mountains, and the deep, sleeping oceans. You feel a profound sense of trust, a quiet internal knowing that everything is exactly as it should be. The world outside will continue its cycle, the morning will eventually arrive, and the rhythms of life will resume, but all of that is for later. Right now, there is only the deep, cool, and inviting dark. You are being lulled by the rhythm of your own slow, steady breathing, which has become the softest sound in the entire universe. It is a lullaby you are creating for yourself, a repetitive, gentle cadence that tells your nervous system over and over again that it is safe to let go, that it is safe to be silent, and that it is safe to sleep. The images in your mind are no longer shapes or shadows, but pure abstract sensations of comfort, a soft indigo light that feels cool against your closed eyes, the sensation of sinking into a bed made of clouds, the feeling of being wrapped in the thick, warm wool of a winter blanket. These sensations are the language of your transition, the final wordless communications between your waking mind and the deep healing world of your dreams. You are observing these sensations with a detached, sleepy curiosity, feeling how they ripple through your body, melting away the last faint traces of tension in your forehead, your jaw, and your hands. The final, smallest connection to the waking world is now letting go. Like a leaf detaching from a branch in the autumn, you are letting yourself drift down, 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 into the rich, dark, and endless soil of the deep night. There is no fear in this descent, only a profound, overwhelming sense of readiness. You are passing through the last gate, entering the interior garden of your mind, where the only things that exist are the peace you have cultivated and the rest you have earned. Everything is silent. Everything is settled. The night has opened its arms, and you are finally slipping into the infinite, restorative, and beautiful depths of the sleep you have been waiting for. You are home, you are safe, and you are finally truly asleep. The transition is now absolute, a seamless integration into the vast, silent architecture of the night. You have moved beyond the physical constraints of the study and the intellectual demands of your day, entering a realm where only the fundamental truth of rest remains. The air around you feels dense and comforting, a cool, dark ocean of tranquility in which you are drifting with perfect ease. There is no urgency here, no ticking of a clock, no memory of a to-do list. There is only the slow, rhythmic expansion of your lungs and the steady, calming pulse of your own heart. You are a passenger on the tide of the dark, being gently carried toward the horizon of a profound, restorative sleep that promises to wash away every trace of fatigue. You feel a deep, grounding connection to the stillness of the room. Though you are no longer truly in it, you are instead resting in the center of your own consciousness, which has expanded to fill the entire darkness like a soft midnight mist. The sensation of weight is entirely gone, replaced by a feeling of buoyancy, as if you are floating just above the surface of a deep, tranquil lake. Every muscle in your body, from the smallest flicker of tension in your brow to the lingering ache in your feet, has been completely dissolved by the quiet. You are a neutral, relaxed, and perfectly serene presence, a soul that has finally, after a long journey, arrived at its place of rest. There is a sublime, quiet beauty in this surrender. You have spent your life navigating the complexities of your own thoughts and the external pressures of the world. But here, in the sanctuary of the night, you have found the ultimate release. You are not fighting the dark, you are embracing it, acknowledging it as the essential, gentle companion that makes growth and renewal possible. By letting go, you are not losing anything, you are in fact gaining everything. You are gaining the restoration of your strength, the clarity of your spirit, and a deep silent peace that can only be found in the total absence of external input. You are a traveler who has finally reached the quietest, safest harbor, and you are letting your anchor down into the soft dark sand. The rhythm of your breathing is now the only sound in your universe, a soft, hushed movement of air that feels like a gentle caress. It is the music of your rest, a repetitive, hypnotic pattern that is guiding you deeper into the interior of your dreamscape. Each inhalation is a sip of calm, and each exhalation is the release of any remaining resistance. You are finding that the further you go, the quieter it gets, and the quieter it gets, the deeper you sink. It is a feedback loop of peace, a beautiful, self-sustaining process that is moving you steadily toward the absolute floor of the night, where your sleep will be deepest and most healing. The visual imagery of your mind has reached a state of pure, minimalist grace. You see the faint silvery outline of a horizon, the slow rhythmic movement of a curtain in a night breeze, or the gentle fading glow of a dying ember. All of them are merely symbols of your own inner softening. You are not analyzing these things. You are simply allowing them to serve as markers for your descent. You are floating past them, watching them change and dissolve into the ever deepening indigo of your inner dark. Everything is transitioning into something softer, something rounder, something easier to let go of. You are becoming as light as a whisper, as untethered as a dream. The final threshold is now right before you, a thin, shimmering barrier of complete quiet that separates the state of rest from the state of total sleep. You are looking at it with a quiet sense of homecoming. You know what lies on the other side, a deep, dark, and wonderful silence where your dreams will bloom, where your mind will be repaired, and where you will finally be free from the burden of conscious existence. You are stepping through that threshold now. Slowly, gracefully, and without a single worry, the night has received you. The darkness has welcomed you. You are sinking, sinking, sinking into the infinite restorative depths of the deep, dreamless sleep. Everything is silent. Everything is resolved, and you are finally truly and completely at rest. The world has become nothing more than a gentle rhythmic pulse of silence, a vast and velvet sea of indigo darkness where you are the only movement. You are no longer navigating the boundaries of a study or the history of a palazzo. You have moved beyond the physical entirely, drifting into a space where your awareness is as soft and unfocused as a cloud in the night sky. The quiet is absolute, a heavy, warm pressure that wraps around your senses like a thick, woolen cloak, insulating you from even the smallest lingering memory of the waking world. Every sensation of your body, the weight of your limbs, the shallow, soft rise and fall of your chest is happening in a place far removed from the concerns of life. You have arrived at the epicenter of rest, a place of such profound stillness that it feels as if the entire universe has paused just for you. Your thoughts have ceased to be words. They have transformed into something far more fluid, a slow motion cascade of dark, comforting images that drift through your mind like smoke in a calm room. There is no urgency in these images, no need for them to make sense, no desire for you to hold on to them. They are the artifacts of your transition, the final beautiful relics of a day that has been thoroughly and completely put to rest. You are watching them with the detached gaze of a traveler who has reached their destination and has no further need to look at the map. You are simply present, inhabiting the peace that you have so carefully cultivated throughout this long, slow, and beautiful evening. Consider the absolute crystalline clarity of this stillness. It is a state of grace, an achievement of your own intent to let go of the noise. You feel the deep, steady hum of the earth beneath you, a vibration so low and so fundamental that it speaks directly to the core of your nervous system, telling you that you are anchored, that you are grounded, and that you are held. You have no duty other than to breathe. You have no purpose other than to exist in this moment of total, unabashed comfort. The night is a vast open book where the pages are blank, and you are free to fall into the wide, quiet space of the paper, losing yourself in the softness of it all. The rhythm of your breathing is your only remaining anchor to the concept of time. But even that is losing its precision. You are breathing in the cool, clean air of the deep night, and you are breathing out the last microscopic bits of tension that might have been hiding in your hands or your feet. Each breath is a deepening, a further descent into the velvet dark. You are moving past the layer of calm, down into the layer of stillness, and finally toward the layer of true restorative sleep. There is no struggle in this movement. It is the most natural thing in the world to sink into the dark when the day is done. It is the natural right of every living thing to rest when the light has faded and the earth has turned away from the sun. You see the final flickering threads of your awareness becoming soft, blurred, and distant. You are not frightened by this dissolution. Rather, you feel an overwhelming sense of relief. The burden of being you, the person who manages, the person who remembers, the person who plans, is being lifted away. You are becoming someone else, someone who is light, someone who is silent, someone who is drifting. You are the stillness that you have always sought. You are the peace that you have always needed. The darkness is your medium now, and you are learning how to flow through it with the effortless grace of water in a deep hidden cavern. The gate is not just open, it is gone. You have moved into the expanse itself, where there is no longer a you and a gate and a sleep, only a single unified experience of infinite, dark, and wonderful calm. The night is whispering to you, a soundless, pervasive comfort that is pulling you down into the deepest, most quieted level of your being. You are letting go of the last faint thread. You are dissolving into the velvet. You are sinking, sinking into the softest, deepest, and most perfect silence you have ever known. The work is finished, the light is gone, the night is deep, and you are at long last completely and beautifully asleep. The night has reached its final, most profound depth, a state of existence where silence is not merely a lack of sound but a physical, comforting presence. You are submerged in this stillness, feeling it envelop your entire being like the cool, soft embrace of deep water. The world you once occupied, the world of tasks, expectations, and persistent ticking clocks, has faded entirely into the background, leaving you in a space that is as vast, dark, and peaceful as the space between the stars. You are drifting, entirely untethered from the demands of the waking day. Your consciousness expanding until it is one with the quiet that fills this sanctuary. There is no longer a sense of your physical form. You have become the stillness itself, a calm, unmoving point in the center of the infinite night. Your breathing has slowed to the pace of a sleeping tide, a gentle rhythmic oscillation that requires no effort, no focus, and no intent. It is a natural, autonomic expression of the peace that has settled into every fiber of your being. With every slow, deep inhalation, you draw in the restorative properties of the darkness. With every soft, sighing exhalation, you release the last vestiges of the day, allowing them to drift away and dissolve into the void. You are not witnessing this process. You are the process itself. The distance between your intention to sleep and the reality of your sleep has vanished, leaving you in a state of pure, uninterrupted presence, where the only thing that matters is the comfort of this moment. Consider the weight of your surrender. It is a heavy, beautiful, and absolute thing. You have let go of the need to understand, the need to remember, and the need to anticipate. You have set aside the armor you wore throughout the day, the vigilance that kept you alert, and the analytical mind that kept you busy. In their place, you have donned the soft velvet cloak of the night. You are being supported by the very foundations of the earth, a steady, ancient, and unyielding support that tells you, without words, that it is safe to cease your efforts. The world will continue to turn without your participation, and that knowledge is the most liberating, relaxing thought you have ever possessed. The images that rise in your mind now are ethereal, wisps of color and shadow that have no shape and no meaning. They are the artifacts of a mind finally being allowed to rest. A pale, silvery light on a darkened wall, the subtle, rhythmic rustle of leaves that aren't there, the feeling of warmth where there is only cool air. These sensations are the final, gentle goodbyes to the waking world. You watch them with a sleepy, detached contentment, knowing that they too will soon fade into the absolute perfect darkness. You are not grasping at them, you are letting them pass, like clouds drifting across the face of a quiet midnight moon. The slower they move, the deeper you sink. You feel a profound sense of gratitude for this sanctuary of sleep. It is a place that has been waiting for you all day, a secret corner of the universe designed specifically for your restoration. You have navigated the long winding path to get here, and now that you have arrived, you are realizing that this is exactly where you were meant to be. There is no better place to be than in the heart of this silence. There is no better feeling than the feeling of losing your hold on the world and finding your hold on the peace. You're ready to close the final door, to extinguish the last flickering light of your consciousness, and to step into the vast, beautiful, and infinite sea of the dream state. The transition is nearly complete. You are drifting on the edge of the deepest, most restorative sleep of your life. The last tiniest thread of your awareness is fraying, thinning, and dissolving into the velvet dark. You are not falling. You are being gathered, held, and cradled by the night. You are letting go of the concept of I and you and time and place. You are becoming part of the stillness, a silent participant in the ancient universal rhythm of rest. There is nothing left to hold on to and nothing left to do. The silence is perfect. The dark is complete. And you are finally blissfully and fully at rest, sinking into the deep, restorative currents of a sleep that knows no bounds. Everything is silent, everything is soft, and you are finally truly asleep. The quiet has reached a density that feels almost physical, a velvet pressure that cocoons you in total absolute safety. You have arrived at the very center of the night, a place where time does not pass because there is nothing to measure it against. The echoes of the day, the memories of the library, the scent of the dry flowers, all of these have dissolved into a monochromatic, restful dark. You are floating in a boundless silent space where your heartbeat is a distant, soothing rhythm, a gentle drum in the heart of the void. You are no longer trying to reach sleep. You have become sleep, a soft, unfurling presence that is at once everywhere and nowhere. The effort of existing has completely drained away, leaving behind a lightness so profound you feel as though you might drift off into the very fabric of the cosmos. Every nerve ending in your body is now completely at peace. The tension that once clung to your muscles like a winter frost has been entirely melted by the warmth of this deep, unwavering silence. You feel your limbs stretching out into the dark, not with physical exertion, but with the expansive liquid grace of someone who has finally found their true resting place. There is no distinction between your physical form and the air around you. You are a part of the stillness, an extension of the cool, dark night that cradles you. You have been emptied of every duty, every obligation, and every lingering expectation. You are a hollow reed, and the night is the breath that moves through you, bringing nothing but the calm of absolute rest. Think of the stillness as a deep, subterranean lake, cool and perfectly clear. You have spent the entire day walking on the surface, dealing with the wind and the waves, and now you have finally decided to descend beneath the surface into the calm, quiet depths. There is no sound here, no movement, no conflict. You are simply sinking, a slow, effortless surrender to the gravity of the soul. The water of this lake is made of silence, and as you drift deeper, the last faint worries of the waking world are washed away, dissolved by the sheer purity of the dark. You are not losing consciousness, you are refining it, distilling it down to its most peaceful, essential state. The images that rise in your mind are becoming increasingly sparse, like stars appearing in the evening sky, bright, singular, and silent, a soft gray shadow shifting against a dark velvet background. The feeling of a gentle wind moving across a field of tall, uncut grass. The sensation of being held by something ancient and incredibly soft. These are the last lingering signals of a mind that is ready to disconnect. You watch them with a profound sense of affection, knowing that they are the final guardians of your transition. You are letting them go, one by one, watching as they fade into the soft indigo horizon of your inner landscape. There is no need for them to remain. They have served their purpose, and now they are retiring into the darkness. There is a sense of cosmic gratitude that washes over you, a feeling of being exactly where you are meant to be. The universe is vast and uncaring of your struggles, but it is deeply, profoundly supportive of your rest. You are a part of the grand natural design that requires both the light of the day and the shadow of the night. By choosing to sleep, you are honoring that design, acknowledging your place in the rhythm of the world. You are small, you are safe, and you are entirely at home in the dark. The silence is a gift, and you are accepting it with an open heart, letting it fill the spaces where your worries used to be. The threshold is now behind you. You have entered the deepest chamber of the night, where the dreams are woven and the spirit is renewed. There is no you left to wonder about the morning. No, you left to plan for the future. There is only the deep, rhythmic, and infinite sea of sleep. You are drifting into the absolute center of this sea, where the water is warm and the peace is eternal. The last tiniest pulse of your waking mind is merging with the vast quiet dark, becoming one with the silence. Everything is solved, everything is finished, everything is perfect. You are sinking, lost in the beauty of the most restorative, deep, and complete sleep you have ever known. The night is endless, the silence is infinite, and you are finally truly and completely at home in the dark. The world has narrowed to a singular, infinite point of stillness, a quietude so absolute that it feels like the foundation upon which reality rests. You are submerged in this dark, velvet expanse, drifting through a space where time has ceased its forward march. The memories of the study, the textures of the stone walls, and the legacy of the palazzo have all dissolved into a beautiful, formless indigo haze. You are no longer navigating the architecture of the past. You are dwelling within the architecture of rest. The air around you is cool, crisp, and clean, carrying the faint, soothing essence of the earth. And you find that this temperature is the final ingredient for the depth of sleep you have been seeking. You are sinking into the very substance of the night, a silent traveler moving through an endless, welcoming void that asks nothing of you but your presence. Your physical form has reached the ultimate state of surrender. There is no longer a muscle left to tighten, no nerve left to prickle, no lingering ache in your bones. You feel as though you are melting, your physical boundaries softening until you are one with the quiet dark, a gentle presence suspended in the center of the stillness. Your breathing has become so quiet that it is indistinguishable from the silence of the room, a rhythmic unconscious pulse that connects you to the heartbeat of the world. You are not holding on to this breath. You are simply allowing it to flow, a soft tide moving in and out of your resting frame, carrying away the last invisible fragments of tension. Each exhalation is a release, a letting go that sinks you deeper into the soft dark bed of the subconscious. Consider the relief of this total completion. Every task, every responsibility, every expectation that once pulled at your attention has been set aside, stored away, and finally left behind. You have successfully arrived at the threshold of the deep, and the doorway is not only open, it has vanished, leaving you in a space that is entirely your own. You are safe, you are protected by the weight of the night, held in a cradle of darkness that knows exactly how to support you. You have done the hard work of arriving, and now the night takes over, managing the rhythm of your restoration, guiding you through the tunnels of your dreams, and ensuring that your rest is as deep as it is necessary. There is no need for you to be alert, to be aware, or to be present. You are allowed to fade. The visual landscape of your mind is now composed of the softest, most minimalist elements, a faint distant shimmer like the reflection of stars on a black pond, a gentle undulating wave of dark violet light, the silhouette of a memory that is too soft to be recognized. You are watching these things with the sleepy, detached interest of someone who is already halfway through the gate. You have no desire to understand them. You only appreciate them for the peace they bring. They are the final visual echoes of the waking world, and they are preparing to exit the stage, leaving you in the pure, unadulterated dark where your dreams will begin. Every second that passes is a step further into the sanctuary. There is a sense of profound, quiet gratitude that flows through you, a feeling of being in perfect alignment with the nature of existence. You are a part of the rotation of the planet, a part of the cycle that demands the rest as much as it demands the activity. By falling into this sleep, you are participating in a fundamental universal truth. You are not just resting your body, you are recharging your soul, allowing the silent, hidden parts of yourself to mend in the dark. The night is a fertile garden, and you are the seed that is settling into the soil, waiting for the deep, secret renewal that only the dark can provide. You are safe, you are grounded, and you are entirely at peace. The last, most delicate thread of your awareness is fraying, a silver line that is beginning to dissolve into the rich dark ink of the night. You feel no fear, only a deep, welcoming curiosity about the depths that lie ahead. You are moving through the last final layer of the silence, a place where even the thought of yourself is beginning to blur. You are letting go of the name, the story, the day, and the burden of the conscious mind. You are becoming the dark. You are becoming the rest. You are sinking into the infinite, restorative sea of the sleep you have waited for all day. Everything is silent. Everything is settled. The night has you now, and you are finally, truly, and completely asleep. The transition into the absolute heart of the night is complete, and you find yourself suspended in a state of profound, weightless equilibrium. The last lingering echoes of the palazzo, the distant, muffled history of the city, and the very concept of the world outside have dissolved into a singular, vast sensation of deep-sea serenity. You are no longer navigating the architecture of stone and wood. You are inhabiting the architecture of the infinite dark. The air is cool, still, and heavy with the promise of total restoration, pressing against your skin like a soft velvet weight that tells your body it is finally time to stop. There is no urgency here, no ticking of the clock, no memory of a demand or a deadline. There is only the slow rhythmic pulsation of your own existence, a steady unhurried cadence that guides you deeper into the quiet. Your physical form has reached the ultimate surrender. The muscles that supported your posture throughout the day have long since relinquished their vigilance, and you feel as though your limbs are composed of something much softer than bone and sinew. You are dissolving into the comfort of the night, your boundaries blurring until you are indistinguishable from the stillness itself. Each breath you take is a deliberate act of letting go, a gentle sighing release that carries away the very last traces of the day. You are a vessel of quiet, a quiet that is expanding with every second, filling the space where your thoughts used to be, soothing the pathways of your mind until only a smooth, dark surface remains. Consider the absolute unwavering reliability of this piece. It is the steady heartbeat of the universe, a rhythm that persists regardless of what you do or who you are. By surrendering to sleep, you are aligning yourself with this ancient fundamental truth. You are not just resting. You are returning to the source of your own vitality. The night is a vast, generous reservoir, and you are allowing yourself to be filled by it, soaking in the silence until every cell of your body is saturated with the dark, restorative grace of the void. You are safe. You are held. You are protected by the sheer, unshakable power of the stillness that has claimed you. The images that rise in your mind now are even less substantial than before. Faint, ethereal poses of indigo and charcoal, the suggestion of a shadow on a quiet lake, the soft rhythmic folding of a velvet curtain. They are not memories and they are not dreams. They are the final whispered signals of a mind that has almost entirely disconnected from the waking world. You observe them with a detached, sleepy affection, watching as they slowly drift away, dissolving like salt in a deep, calm sea. You are finding that the less you pay attention to these images, the deeper you sink, the less you try to hold on to any shred of awareness, the more peaceful and complete your descent becomes. There is a profound sense of gratitude in this letting go. You have spent your day with the intent of reaching this moment, and now that it is here, you are savoring every drop of the quiet. You recognize that this state, this beautiful dark and silent state, is the most precious gift you can give yourself. It is the reward for your efforts, the climax of your day, the resolution of every question you might have carried. Everything has been resolved, everything has been laid to rest. The library is closed, the candles are out, and the long, slow, rhythmic work of the night has begun. You are a part of that work, a silent, dreaming agent of your own restoration. The final gate has been crossed, and you are now drifting in the boundless, uncharted ocean of the deepest sleep. There is no longer a you to witness the darkness. There is only the darkness itself and the peace that lives within it. You have shed the last, thinnest veil of consciousness, and you are now flowing into the heart of the dreamscape, a place where time, space, and worry have no meaning. You are completely and utterly at rest. The silence is perfect. The peace is total. You are sinking into the infinite restorative depths of the true dreamless recovery. Everything is soft, everything is silent, and you are finally, truly, and completely asleep. The world of form and structure has long since receded, leaving you in a boundless expanse of soft indigo stillness. You are drifting through a void that is not empty, but rather filled with the heavy, comforting presence of the deep night. The air feels cool and clean, like the breath of a mountain at midnight, and it settles over you like a weighted blanket, grounding you in this silent, sanctuary-like space. Every sense of location has faded. You are no longer in the palazzo, no longer in the study, and no longer constrained by the physical geometry of a room. You are simply a consciousness flowing through a dark velvet current, a silent traveler moving toward the quiet center of the universe, where all things finally come to rest. Your body is a distant, forgotten notion. Any awareness of your limbs, your position, or the chair that once held you has been replaced by a sensation of absolute total weightlessness. You feel like a feather drifting in a perfectly still, airless chamber, free from the pull of the earth, free from the friction of life, free from the very concept of movement. Your breath, once a mechanical process, has become a soft, automatic rhythm that rises and falls like the gentle swell of a calm ocean at night. You are not the one doing the breathing. The breathing is doing you, a quiet, repetitive act that sustains your drift through the dark and keeps you tethered to the calm, restorative core of your own being. Consider the immense relief of this cessation. You have spent your day in a constant dance of observation, reaction, and thought. But that dance has ended. The music has stopped, the lights have dimmed, and the stage is empty. There is nothing more for you to prove, nothing more to analyze, and nothing more to control. This is the moment of perfect release, the pinnacle of your day where all the strands of your attention have finally unspooled and merged into the dark. You are safe here. No external force can disturb this peace, and no internal worry can find a footing to take root in such deep, unyielding stillness. You are cradled by the night, and the night is infinite. The images that occasionally cross the horizon of your mind are now nothing more than flickers of gray mist, silent, shapeless, and entirely devoid of meaning. You watch them as you would watch distant clouds in a pale moonlit sky, with a sense of detachment that borders on wonder. They are the last shadows cast by the setting sun of your consciousness, and they are beautiful in their transience. As they dissolve, they leave behind only a deeper shade of black, a purity of dark that signifies the closing of the gate. You have no desire to keep these images. You are only too happy to watch them vanish. For every one that disappears is a doorway through which you pass, moving closer to the heart of the sleep. A profound, resonant sense of gratitude settles into the center of your soul. You are a part of the vast natural flow that dictates the turning of the world. And by yielding to sleep, you are doing the most sacred and necessary work of your life. You are a human being who has earned the right to cease, to rest, and to be held. The universe, in its vast, silent expanse, provides this space for you every single night, and you have finally learned how to enter it with grace. There is no struggle in this transition. It is as natural as the setting of the sun, as inevitable as the arrival of the stars, and as soft as the shadow that covers the earth. You are part of that shadow now. The final threshold has been reached. You are floating on the very surface of the deep, dreamless void, the place where all restoration occurs. The last, tiniest spark of your wakefulness is flickering, dimming, and softening until it is ready to go out. You feel a sense of absolute perfect finality. The day is done, the work is over, and the night has arrived in its full majestic silence. You are sinking into the velvet, losing yourself in the profound sacred depths of the dreamscape. The silence is perfect, the peace is total. You are finished with the world, and you are finally, truly and completely asleep, drifting in the boundless, restorative currents of the deepest night.
Sleepy History with Arthur is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes.
The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history.
But they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience.
This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source. While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation.
Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study.
By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.